We're wrapping up day number 3 here of the group stage here at a Riyadh Masters with a clash that's actually surprisingly even. Secret, it's kind of been off the grid for a while, but they're on the come up. And Liquid, after so many second place finishes, we expect more of the same, but right now, kind of middle of the pack.
Nobody knows what's going to happen. الآن جاء الوقت أعزائنا المشاهدين أن نشهد المباراة الأخيرة في اليوم الثالث من الجروب ستيج. المباراة هذه فيها هيستوري جدا كبير، لكن الشيء اللي لازم تعرفه فريق سيكرت الآن جالس يتحسن بشكل مفاجئ للكل، لكن تيم ليكويد بالمقابل هذا الفريق اللي مستواه قاعد يدنا شوي، معنا شفناهم في أغلب البطولات حوالي العالم دائما يكونون في المركز الثاني.
And for these two teams specifically, obviously there's been a lot of player sharing between the two, but right now, this will be actually the first time that Nisha has faced off against his former team on LAN.
هذه بتكون أعزائنا المشاهدين المرة الأولى اللي نشهد فيها اللاعب نيشا ضد فريقه السابق. في لاعبين كانوا موجودين مع سيكرت والآن صاروا مع تيم ليكويد، فالشيء هذا راح يعطيهم فرصة إنهم يثبتون أنفسهم قدام الأورج القديمة حقتهم.
Now, let's give a warm welcome to this team's first appearance on LAN this entire year. Team Secret! They've been quiet for most of the year, but Puppy sees something in these players that he's assembled from a variety of regions. Some from last year, some new imports, some from even Southeast Asia. He's getting them all.
بابي الفترن حق الفريق هو قائدهم، وأكثر شيء لازم تعرف عن الفريق هذا إنه لسبب ما قدر يجمع الروستر هذه من مختلف أنحاء العالم، ولا سووا شيء كثير الفترة الأخيرة، لكن الآن جالسين نشوفهم يتحسن مستواهم في أول ظهور لهم في اللان من أول ما بدأ الروستر، لكن خصمهم ما هو سهل. أول مرة يطلعون على المسرح كلكم تعرفون مين هم، خلينا نرحب فيهم. فاينالست السنة الماضية في رياض ماسترز تيم ليكويد. من بداية البطولة حنا جالسين نشوفهم في البثوث المختلفة يتواجهون خلف المسرح ويقدرون يصعدون إلى منتصف الجروب حقهم، لكن الآن بيكون عندهم فرصة يظهرون في أول مرة على المسرح في رياض ماسترز 2023. هم جاهزين يقدمون لنا أفضل ما عندهم.
They're stepping onto the stage for the first time right now here at a Riyadh Masters 2023, but they're no strangers to the stage in general. Right now, the group stage, it's a little bit cold, but this is what it was like for them at the Berlin Major also. They're no strangers to ending this whole thing looking hot.
دائما نشوفهم يكونون في المركز الثاني، دائما نشوف فريق ليكويد يكون هو فاينالست في جميع المياجر اللي شهدناها هذه السنة، لكن المرة هذه بيتأكدون أنهم يوصلون المركز الأول بحكم الأداء اللي شهدناه منهم. صحيح أنه ما كان الأفضل، بس فرصتهم للتأهل للبلاي أوفز جدا عالية، وموضوع الهيستوري اللي بين اللاعبين بيعطي الجيم فليفر جدا رهيب.
Let's end this night in style, Fancy. Gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this draft underway.
على طول نبدأ في درافت الجيم أعزائنا المشاهدين. هذا بيكون جيمنا الأخير في اليوم الثالث.
Thank you very much, Tsunami and Fancy. We are indeed going to end this evening in style. Liquid versus Secret, run back of a lower bracket final. And PSJ, given the stakes here, for someone like Puppy, right? I imagine that for his debut on the main stage, it probably means a lot to be able to beat Team Liquid and be like, yeah, we did it again. Y'all thought you were hot. Nah. We still have the source when it comes to LAN environments.
And also, how dare you guys leave me behind? I'm referring to Nisha and Zai in this case. But yeah, I think these teams, like both of them, I'm always going to be more fearful of them as the event goes on. Like, I think as these captains, and like I think specifically Blitz as a coach always knows how to rally the troops in terms of morale and making sure the team stays positive, fixes the right things, makes the right adjustments. And Puppy, you know, he said that they were having visa issues. They didn't really get a chance to boot camp because of them before this before this tournament. So what that means for me is that if they can make that much of an adjustment over that short a period of time, that they're going to be terrifying moving forward.
Well, we're going to be seeing exactly what kind of terror Team Secret can strike into the hearts of Liquid as we have a draft on our hands. Game 1 of Team Liquid versus Team Secret. Yet again, Fia, we have a little bit of a switch up here. All throughout the group stages up until this point, it was common to see Radiant first pick. The last 2 series we've had, Radiant have had second pick both times, Dire with the first pick. So what do we want to see Team Secret open this draft with, especially since they've done the smart thing and banned out the IO?
Well, there's a lot of things they like going for. Snapfire could be one of them, Batrider, Enigma. Those are the big ones that they like to look for on that first pick. You can't ban all of them, so most likely they'll end up one of those 3.
They haven't found much success with Snapfire. I'm just scrolling through their games, and every single time they pick Snapfire +1, other than this one series, they just lost every single time. And it feels like there's been a switcheroo lately for the last, 2 days, because they started winning. It feels like there's a Monkey King that, as you Snare mentioned, that's a flex pick for them because they love to run it as position 4 as well. But this Batrider and also Primal Beast, just like you have 2 players who can play it, and they play it so well.
The one weakness, though, BSJ, that they might have on the side of Team Secret, they are not a Broodmother team. We just saw on the graphic there, it's one of the most contested heroes in the entire tournament. Despite its win rate not necessarily living up to that billing, Team Secret haven't been deploying it really here at the Riyadh Masters. Is that a detriment to them, or are there enough strategies in the game right now that you can ignore the Spider?
There's no Broods, there's no Morphlings, there's no Medusas of the previous patch, I think, this time around. We saw some of the highest contested heroes in the entire draft for only about 80% of the time. I think you can get away with not having some of these heroes in your repertoire. So specifically right now in this patch, that's not as big of a detriment as it has been before.
Yeah, there's Enigma left in the pool. Puppy loves to play it. The question is, do you want to pick it up straight away, not caring about Rubik, because Rubik so far has been the hero of the tournament. If it's a 5 Enigma, I don't think you care too much about it, and Team Secret, they're just going to go for it.
Yeah, I think Puppy just one of his comforts. You know, he loves playing these heroes that are always a little bit greedy on the lane, right? And on top of that, he likes the micro, the hero that fits him very well. But I imagine Liquid, a common response to this will be that Rubik. If at any point you do Black Hole in the game, you can turn that quite easily. Also has a cast range to stop Black Holes later on. And they will end up picking him. They're going to pick the Snapfire up as well, that Team Secret foregoed because they didn't have the best success with here. But Team Liquid, this hero can be a flex for them, for sure.
Yep, they've played this hero mid and it's been successful for them. Obviously, we've seen them deploy it in a support role, not at this tournament, but in the past.
Yeah.
But Snapfire has just been very, very good. One of the most contested heroes in the tournament and super versatile. Rubik, what a hero Rubik is. I'll be honest, y'all, I was a bit cold after the play-ins on this hero, so I'm being picked game in, game out, not necessarily having that much impact. But these last 2 days of group stages, in particular, seeing Kaka play it and earlier today seeing Tofu play it, BSJ, I'm turning around on this hero. I think he's actually kind of busted.
It's just so easy to lose the draft in the first round, where you pick a hero that ends up having 0 impact. And so I think what Rubik does for you is he's just never that hero. He's always going to have the presence in lane to fade bolt and secure you creeps, and he's also going to have that team fight impact later on, and that's especially guaranteed when you're looking at Enigma on the other team. The Snapfire, I think in a lot of cases Liquid would have opted for like a Broodmother or a Lycan type hero in that slot if it were any other team than Secret, because they prioritize Snapfire so highly themselves. So I really do like to see that they made a slight adjustment in their priority list based on their opponent.
Yeah. Looking at what Team Secret drafted for themselves, it's the same opener when they played against BB team. So now they need to protect their Darkseer. There's already Oracle gone. Enchantress is still left in the pool. Any of these like Dispel heroes early on. And it's also Insania's specialty. Like there was a time where no one touched this hero and they were like, you know what, we're gonna be playing it, but I feel like Oracle is in an okay spot right now, so we might see it from time to time.
Yeah. Liquid doing their homework here, just banning the other heroes that Secret had when they opened with this as well. It's a little funny to me that they don't even try to hide this Enigma at all. It's like for a flex pick. Like, no, right away, we're just going to pick our off-laner with it. This is just Puppy's hero. We're not going to joke around here. But Team Liquid, they've seen this draft. I'm sure Blitz is holding the papers up. All right, this is what they played with the last time. What don't we want to play? Secret doing the same exact bans when they open with this as well. So all eyes on Secret here running this strategy, as this is Liquid. They adapt pretty well. You know, they're the water team. They adapt, but they're playing versus Secret, who also can adapt, but Secret's running something that they've ran before, and Liquid, they have to come with something new.
And banning out Bloodseeker, that's the big one, you know. Everybody talks about Crystallis, that's one of his top 3 heroes, Razor, Monkey King, Bloodseeker. He had the highest XP in one of those games against Aster. He also he was dethroned by Monet today in terms of kills on this hero because he loves to play it, but not just him. I think all Western Europe carry players, they really excel at playing Bloodseeker. They just know how to farm and they know how to join. You'll see Mickey especially on this hero joining fights early on, 7-8 minutes into the game. He's through the gates, he's deep into the mid lane, getting that level 6, getting a kill on a core.
One thing that worries me about the Bloodseeker being removed from the pool here, BSJ, is that now this opens up the possibility of a Lycan.
I was thinking the same thing.
Team Liquid, they played on multiple roles and they're undefeated with this hero so far. So talk to me about this. Should they be banning out the Lycan on the side of Team Secret?
Yeah, I think what makes, I think first off, yes, but I don't know if you can afford to. I was going to say they were probably going to ban Enchantress, but then when I look at their last 2 Darkseer games, they picked it into Enchantress, so they're not that afraid of the Dispel coming out there. But the thing about Liquid with Lycan is they're one of the only teams, if not the only one, that flexes it between carry and offlane. And in theory, he's nice against Darkseer because you have built-in sustain to worry about the Ion Shell. And then you're also good against Enigma because one of the best ways to deal with Enigma is since he conversions the creeps of his own, he's pulling the lane back. So you want to look to push the lane in ultra hard, looking for early dives. So that Helm Dom timing, that level 6 timing, usually pretty potent against a hero like Enigma. Doesn't do much to defend his tower.
And Liquid is not just banning one hero. When they played against BB team, they banned both of them, Templar Assassin and Clockwork.
Razor now?
A hat trick here.
It could be. And when you talked about this Lycan pick, potentially this Clockwork even also makes sense. Sometimes playing into cogs could be difficult, getting on top of Lycan. So seems like the pick that could come up for Liquid.
Seems quite scary here. They're going to be the ones picking first out of the phase. I think the next ban is going to give us quite a lot of information. So far, we don't see any addressment of the Water Boy here, despite both teams having played it in the past. Is that going to come up for you at all?
Probably not for Liquid, most likely. I don't see a big reason at the moment to pick it.
That's not a hero they really play very often.
Yeah, Elder Titan. You can technically cancel Black Hole with your ultimate, so there's that. You can steal it with Rubik. This hero doesn't particularly strike as a hero that just beats Darkseer up in the lane. It's not really a Dispel.
Level 1, he is really strong.
He is,
yeah.
You
have Blood Grenade, you have that extra move speed. Darkseer has Ion Shell, so maybe that, but also we've seen a lot of Elder Titan so far at Riyadh Masters, and it felt really good. I don't think I remember seeing game where it was oh, ET, he's not doing anything. So definitely hero that has been under multiple teams' radar recently.
Yeah, he definitely has big team fight, which helps a lot. And of course, the aura with Snapfire is a classic.
Yeah,
that one makes it very difficult to fight into here. And I like how the Clockwork is banned here too. That was one of the heroes that could enable this Darkseer lane against Elder Titan. At this point, I'm not exactly sure what you pick as a pos 4 here to deal with this Elder Titan, because then it gets a little weird if you want to do some inch or something for the spell plays.
Where's Nyx Assassin against the Snapfire? Can't use ulti. I mean,
he'll get beat up pretty hard versus ET in lane.
Two greedy supports, I think, as well. You need a 4 that's willing to work with virtually no items. I think maybe a Spear Breaker type of support.
Yeah, that's a better choice. So
I also think Team Liquid's alley-ooping themselves into a Void pick. They've done it before, and it just looks amazing with their entire draft. It's also very good against Darkseer in theory. So we see the Spear Breaker. I'm still liking Void for Team Liquid, but I have to imagine Team Secret's got that on their mind. That is a very likely pick that could be coming out. It's generally a carry that you want is the type that has sustain and not so powerful of an illusion against the Darkseer.
Yeah, Void's good. If you do want to go Sven, maybe could be pretty.
Sven's fine too.
Well. Yeah. As an alternative, but they go for the
you would want to go Void against Razor, not Sven.
Funny enough, that was the one hero that Liquid didn't ban that Team
And then they
Secret had.
Now it's a good morph.
They really wanted this draft.
Morph works
You
really
have
good too.
like 2 really good targets to turn into Spirit Breaker at every single stage of the game. Razor as well, he links you, you link him. You can also get away from the static link if you don't have your ultimate available.
I would just be licking my chops for a Void pick right now.
Yeah, Void's extremely good right now.
So Faceless Void could come in, Morphling could come in. Other carry heroes that they've played at this tournament, which are unlikely. They played Drow, definitely not going to happen.
No.
We've seen Muerta, that's not going to happen. Slark is unlikely. TA's already been banned out. Yeah, Morphling does seem to fit the bill here.
I just don't like it as much against Enigma, but I love it against the other 3. So it just depends on what their priorities are, whether or not it's like the carry-to-carry matchup, whether or not it's the team fights with the Void. The Morphling's probably better for the map, where like outside of team fights it's going to be impossible to gank you, but we'll see what they prioritize.
I mean, it is Enigma 5, so the Morph is not going to have as big of an issue with
He's
it.
not gonna lane against him, not gonna steal his CS, so...
I mean, the Midnight Pulse and Black Hole are still annoying as they are for most carries, but you do have ways of canceling that with the Rubik and the Elder Titan, so both could be good here. I think Morph is definitely better versus Razor one-on-one matchup, but Faceless Void, it fits the combo, right? You've got the Snapfire ultimate, you got the ET, you've got like the dream late game now.
Yeah. Late game is not going to be a problem. And I suppose they don't have, I'm looking at this Team Secret drop, their out-and-out burst is somewhat lackluster, so being able to reliably deal with the Faceless Void is not going to be the easiest thing in the world.
I also love games where I don't have to buy BKB as Faceless Void, and I don't think you really want to buy one this game. You're dealing with Charge, you're dealing with Static Link, you're dealing with Black Hole. Like, the only thing that you'd buy BKB for is Darkseer, and that's only to really get out of his wall combo, and Void's got Time Walk for that. So, well, I saw this yesterday in a series. I don't remember which one it was, but please, last hero from Secret, make this Void buy a BKB. Like, you don't, like, if you pick a hero that he doesn't want to buy BKB against, you're making his item build much more straightforward.
Yeah, he's really not afraid of these heroes. Like, there's Spirit Breaker Charge into like some Malefice, but when it comes down to burst damage coming out from these 4 heroes, there isn't much to control Faceless Void, and one of the better counter initiators in the game, Elder Titan, so he can keep the distance and get the Echo Stomp, Rubik later on with the lift, with the cookie. So there's a decent amount of saves coming out for this Faceless Void already.
I'm also worried here about this Razor. How on earth do you keep the link out on this Void? He not only has Time Walk, he has displacement from both the Fire Snap Cookie and the... You just don't? Okay.
Not really. I think it's pretty hard because, like, yeah, if he gets the Shard and he's going to initiate with Chrono, you're not going to find a way to get that. If they want to, they can buy a link. And speaking to BSJ's point, though, like, the hero that's going to force Void into buying a BK, there's not many, but there is a Puck. And Armel does like to play that hero, and I think that is a matchup where I think you absolutely probably need to buy a BKB.
Oh, there it goes.
Bye-bye. Liquid knows that too, so...
Yep. All right, so in terms of initiators then, what's left? I feel like only Storm Spirit really remains here. I don't think Queen of Pain really helps them in that regard. They do need some degree of lockdown.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy pick here. You know you're against the Snapfire, at least at this point.
We've seen
Highly
him pick
likely.
Shaker.
Shaker versus Snap mid?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking of something that makes him buy a BKB.
Yeah.
I'm
At that point, can we even rely on that? Is there a way we can potentially do more? Maybe is a Wind Ranger in the game?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Maybe DK?
I was thinking Wind Ranger, relatively elusive, like hard to kill with these heroes unless you commit with Chrono.
DK worries me into this Elder Titan though, like with the Void combo. Not
Yeah, I
feeling
got
super
you.
hot about that.
I hope whatever, like I'm a little puzzled, a little perplexed here on what for them to pick, so I hope it kind of answers all my concerns. Oh!
There it is.
Well, there you go. It makes them buy a BKB. They took me very literally there.
Okay.
Maybe.
So that's mid Shaker, safe lane Razor. There was some flex potential still left with this Razor if they wanted to put it on the mid lane. That's why this Draw Ranger ban came in clutch. Like, what do you pick here? Something that can survive this Razor plus Enigma, like Break Link, something like Mars, just to be able to lane, because I don't think this is going to be an easy lane for them to play into.
I would love a push hero, maybe Visage.
So Zaya's played, the heroes are still in the pool. He has played Underlord, Tidehunter, Visage, as well as... Oh no, Enigma and Timbersaw are already gone. So yeah, those are the other 3 he's played. So Visage, it comes up. So what do you think? What was the rationale in your mind, PSG, when you were thinking about this Visage hero?
Well, when you talked about the Void versus Morphling, when they chose between those two, it's like Void's not as good for the map. He's not going to take care of any of the lanes. He's not creating any pressure. He's much better for the fight. So usually when Liquid does this, they like to pair it with a hero like Visage that's going to create that pressure, force you to react, allow the Void to rotate to him who's showing on the lane. And even though you're looking at an Echo Slam, it's not that good against Visage as a concept because of the fact that he has Gravekeeper's Cloak. So out of all the summons heroes, it's probably the best against Earthshaker, and it's a ranged hero against Razor. So I don't think he has any great link targets on Crystallis this entire game, so I'm really leaning towards Liquid through and through for this draft.
Definitely makes it really uncomfortable for Razor to run into this Visage hero. He's going to have the auras, the birds are going to hit you, you're going to slow his attack speed and move speed as well, which he hates. Constant nukes coming out, and then you have like Snapfire, Rubik. There's so many nukes for this Razor to go in. Only issue I have with the Team Secret's draft right now is, well, I've got a lot of issues with it, but the big thing is their lanes look like they're potentially going to lose all 3, and that's definitely a big issue, and I don't even think they have the secured late game either, so a little bit scary here for Team Secret. I think they got to play really well.
Yeah, I think both teams are very happy with the drafts that they got out of this one, because both drafts seems to be like really good. Maybe the laning stage part that Fear mentioned, but overall leaning towards Team Liquid just because of the execution. Puppey has a lot to prove. You know, he's back on the land. He wants to beat Team Liquid one more time, but I would say this is like 55-45 for Liquid.
55-45, so we're having a clean sweep on the panel for Team Liquid, it seems?
Yeah, seems really good.
I think Secret's trying to force a strategy a bit too much here, and Liquid kind of exploited it. They did their homework.
Agreed.
Well, the last time that my panel was all in on a particular team, it ended up being in completely the opposite direction, and the opposite team won. That time it was 9 Pandas. Let's see if Team Secret can prove them wrong yet again. And to find out, we send it over to our casters, Sunsfan and Kezu. Take it away, boys.
Liquid versus Secret. We had one grudge match. This one is a friendly one, but we're going to pretend that they have beef with each other because there's 2 members of Liquid in Nisha and Zai used to be on Secret. They abandoned Puppey. You're casting it. You used to be Secret a member as well.
Yep.
Except you were kicked instead of leaving like
Thank
that.
you.
But that's beside the point, Kezu.
Thank you, Shannon.
Very important match, though. Both teams 5-5 in the group. And there's only one match, I believe, after this for them.
For both of them.
So very impactful match. We're going to see Armel, Earthshaker mid hype.
It is true that all of Puppey's players every year, they just get poached by Liquid. So I'm sure, you know, there's maybe not some beef, but deep down, of course, you want to beat them, want to beat some of your old teammates. But, you know, the panel touched on the draft a little bit. I do think that it's not the easiest game for Armel to, like, jump into the Radiant draft later on. Same for, you know, Razor. When there's this potential where you just BKB, you want to run in, but there's counterplay to you with like the Chrono and so on. So I do think Secret have a few things that they're going to have to deal with. But what I'm looking at is FBZ. Some of his mid-game timings with maybe Greaves Pipe, it can really push your Earthshaker and your Razor forward to just really run in there. Well, let's see the Bounty Rune fight coming up.
Yeah.
Oopsie daisy, that's 4 for 0.
Liquid with 4. That is not a good start for Secret.
Pretty good, you know.
Yeah, could be better. They could have gotten a kill as well.
Could have killed all 5 heroes.
Yeah. Okay, well that is unfortunate for Secret, but I mean, which lineup do you agree with the panel that this is Liquid favored?
I would say it's slightly Liquid favored, but there's definitely a world where Secret in this mid game, like as I touched on, they get these auras and they just keep running in and they kind of own the map. I think that's like kind of their way to win, but I would say that Liquid have a very solid draft and good answers to the Secret cores.
And of course, Secret started off very poorly in this group stage, and then there was a thread made about Crystallis, and he's not good at the game. Why does Puppey play with him? And they proceeded to win every game yesterday, and Crystallis was, I think he died 3 times total out of 4 to 6 games, or whatever the hell it was.
So,
absolute monster as the first blood goes the way of Zai.
So what I'm hearing is the haters should keep hating, because then they buff Crystallis to play better.
That's right.
So keep it up, haters.
Keep it up, everybody.
This Puppey takes a quick L in the top lane from Zai's little nuke, which has a 4-second cooldown, so you don't really want to play into some soul assumption, but sometimes that's just life.
Yeah, what do you think of the Razor this game?
I mean, it's just a Crystallis special, right? He's got his 8 billion games on Monkey King, then Bloodseeker, then Razor. It's not the easiest matchup. You don't really like Visage all that much. I think your lane against Visage is fine. So Armel, you know, dealing with some low HP for now, but Faceless Void matchup is one of the worst in the entire game. But Razor's always the type of hero that you have your own tempo, and even if you have bad matchups in the mid game, you're generally the strongest hero, so they will have to push forward there.
Armel You okay,
Fissure?
my friend? Fissure comes out, and
On the ground.
does he just die here, I think?
Very fire.
He blocks in Nisha, who's...
Oh!
Cookie connects. Nisha gets the kill. It was actually closer than I thought, but same result.
That
Now
looks
he can
way
push into the
closer
tower.
than it should have been after he fissured the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Nisha gonna get his bottle.
Well, he
plus
wanted to get the block
Dire's
in,
middle tower
but
is under attack.
if
But
he
he
had
did
actually
block him.
if he had hit Nisha, I think that actually might have been a kill.
Yeah.
It was close.
Okay. Well, very good start for Liquid. 4 bounty runes and the first 2 kills. Xenia is beating them, but might get...
He's gonna get vacuumed back
Beat
into
him back.
the Ion Shell Blood Grenade combination. They have a lot of wombo combos. That's not one of them, but
Black hole.
They have crazy team fight on
Yeah.
the side of Secret.
Now, Secret teamfight is going to be very good. And sure, like, Liquid have a lot of, I think, the matchups, but a lot of their damage comes from, like, teamfight, wombo combo, you know, Snapfire Kisses, ET Splitter, as he will see it again.
Yeah.
Nisha with the sidestep.
Yeah. Well, let's see, how close was this? If the Fissure had hit, would he have gotten this
Hey,
kill?
I'm pretty sure he would have killed him.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, then again, maybe Nisha wouldn't have manned up.
Yeah.
Way, you know.
Yeah.
Never
You're
know.
creating an alternate timeline, and who knows how many branches are in that timeline.
Doctor Strange.
That's right.
Stick
Blood
charge.
grenade onto Chrysalis. Gets off the plasma field though.
There's
Moxie,
Lotus.
he is donezo. And Lotus is available for the taking. Puppy.
Bash him, puppy.
He's
He's going to do it
what you
again
get
on the
for leaving
second
Secret.
hit. No one.
Another
Third
bash
hit.
coming. He'll get it
Yep, he'll get
next
it now.
time. So mid lane, I did want to talk about that. The Earthshaker as the last pick for Secret, not last pick overall, but last pick for them.
Yeah.
Against the Snapfire, I mean, his CS is good.
Yeah. I mean,
How
Shake-
does this matchup go in theory?
I think it's just very farm and trade heavy. Like, I think both heroes come out of this lane very happily, but Chrysalis taking quite a bit of a beating up top. Zai trying to dodge the link.
Charge going through, but Zai is not a hero. You're going to be able to kill that easily.
So I would say the mid matchup goes fairly even, but neither of them really like to play against each other that much, because I think when you hit 6 on Snap, you would like to be able to kill your opponent. With Shaker's very tanky, and same the other way around. It's not too easy to kill Snap, being a strength hero. So I think for Nisha, there's a lot for him to like look on the side lanes. I think all of Chrysalis's heroes, they're like tempo heroes and they hate to be ganked early on. So having this tool on the mid Snapfire to potentially turn around the top matchup could be big for Liquid.
Okay. And I think the panel did mention this briefly, the Razor static link this game. It feels like it's kind of weird because you have mobility on the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
Snap. I mean, every hero kind of has a way to gain at least move speed or some sort of mobility aspect to get away from the static link. Is that an actual issue?
I mean, he doesn't like hard counter any heroes with his link, but he will always get what he wants, I think. Like, Razor's the type of hero, you link, you ult, you run in there, maybe he gets Surge, BKB, and he'll just try to kill, I think, the surrounding heroes, like maybe some Rubik or stick onto the Visage and Snapfire, but it's going to be more so on Liquid to see if they can get to the timing where Mickey can just time walk in, time walk out, and chill.
I see that right here with the Blood Grenade aspect as well. Boxy a little bit late to the party, gets off the lift, and Zai is going to be able to get away.
We'll walk it off.
As FBZ, he's taking some pretty massive damage here, but okay, he's going to reset, continue to get these right clicks. He's sitting on 29 and 8 versus the 15 and 6 Chrysalis. So in terms of the position ones, Liquid far happier with the state of affairs.
Yeah, they're doing very well in this top lane. Like, Visage just has pretty good damage. It's Puppy is bottom.
Charge coming in, Mickey. Okay, put the Malefice into the vacuum onto Insania. Blood Grenade, I mean, Insania is so fast with the Astral Spirit when it returns.
I think he's actually just going to walk it off.
That's right.
Or maybe they had like a sick timing if they could have vacuumed into the charge, but Mickey finds a good timing on his time walk. So everyone is going to be fine down here. In mid though, we have a little rotation on the active rune. Cookie kisses.
Into the kisses.
Oh, good lift.
as well. Armel does die.
Fats in the fire.
And there's a regen rune waiting for Nisha.
Very, very good stagger there to just keep Armel from using his Fissure. As now, this is a big difference in the mid lane, right? You already had the 4 bounties, you got the 1 kill as well. So Nisha's net worth looking pretty disgusting here. That's 6 minutes in the game.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, top 3 net worths in the game are the way of Liquid.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking at like a mid Earthshaker, this is not a hero that wants to really team fight until he gets a blink, which obviously is a ways away.
Yeah, Shaker is a bit more different from many other mids. I mean, the way Shaker likes to play, you want to like win your lane, and then you have the Echo Thread, you get some runes, you get treads, you can't really be killed, you get a fairly good timing on your blink, but so this is definitely not the position you want to be in with a mid Earth Shaker. So it's going to be more around the other heroes. I assume Secret will try to play through FBZ here with the Darkseer later and the shells.
Yeah, Wisdom Room time. Should be traded, and it is. As Zai
Here comes Nisha.
get gone on. Nisha gets a nice cookie onto 2. Nice save. Zai! Nope, the Plasma Field just clips him in the end. Puppey dies shortly after, so it's a 1-for-1, but Crystal's continuing to get pursued. Static Link now onto Nisha, but he's going to get lifted, and the Scatter Blast to finish him off. Nisha having a monster game.
This is not great for Secret, because no, Nisha did TP up here, but he will have his ult soon available again, as I mean, it just looks like Liquid will be able to just kind of stand in all their lanes. Visage isn't the strongest hero until level 6, but now Zai has like a double wave in his tower, so once you get 6, I don't think Razor really enjoys laning against you anymore, and then Secret could be in a bit of trouble.
Sania is getting charged, but we can see that Puppey is very far away right now, so using it more as a pseudo-teleport. Already a 2K lead for Liquid. Okay, he actually will continue on here, going for the blocks, but Insania pretty damn fast.
One more. Block grenade.
He's going to need a lot more. There's actually a haste rune here that will be denied.
Good deny. Okay, Nisha is around. They do have the kisses available, but it's definitely good if they can like hold on to it or pressure one of the side lanes. I would say the only way FBZ can die right now is with a rotation from Nisha, because he has Vanguard with Yamish.
Yamish looks to be mega dead right now.
Mega dead.
Armel has come to play, but it's a bit awkward. No mobility, obviously.
There's a Chrono.
Chronosphere comes out with the kisses to follow. It's gonna get canceled thanks to the fissure, but FBZ will actually end up living.
Very nice fissure here from the Magician Armel. Kind of sniffs it out, knows exactly where to throw it. I mean, had Nisha got that kill, his net worth would have been pretty disgusting. I mean, it already is, but it would have been even more. Now Chrono is down, so FBZ gonna be able to breathe a little bit. Kind of the kill combo for him to die is gone.
And ever so slowly, Liquid just continuing to build upon this lead. 3K right now. Crystal is triple teamed.
Yes, Atos.
Atos is already online for Nisha, and another easy kill for Liquid.
This is it's just annoying for you to play into with all of these heroes. Razor, Monkey, Ursa, whatever it may be. Suddenly the Snapfire is snowballing. He has an early Atos. Now they have a Solar Crest on the deck as well. They're going to end up pushing your top tier 1. And they can always go around. Like, Nisha has such nice side lanes to just rotate to and keep getting these kills.
And run into Puppey as well in the top lane.
Nope.
He's going to get cookied, and another free kill for Secret.
God, he hits so hard. This universal stuff is... he hits for 135 at 950. All good.
Yeah.
Same with Visage. This hero used to hit for like 68 at this point, or 70. Now it's 110.
Balanced.
Yeah, feature.
And that tier 1 tower is going to be a freebie for Liquid as well. And, I mean, you tell me, what is the point that Secret can try to start fighting? I mean, is it that Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker?
I think you would love to get ults on the both of your supports. I think, yeah, Armel is not really going to join anything. He's like going to be on the side, maybe throw a Fissure. And for Secret, if they can slowly get this tower, it would be great. But this is the point where in Pro Dota right now, when you're ahead and you can hold your safe lane tower while owning the map, you're really going to make the game so hard for Secret to play as Liquid. They're, you know, they're already smoking here. Looks like Secret may be aware.
Yep, scan comes out, will clip a member of Liquid, so Secret do have an idea, and it likely will not result in a successful smoke for Liquid overall, as Yamish is going to take that gate. Puppey, he's going to get the charge off. Armel is in the area as well, but
there's a mass
again,
TV
I don't think
out.
they have the damage here. There's the Atos into the cookie, and Nisha not having to worry about the fissure cancel anymore. It's a full duration, Mortimer's kisses, destruction.
Nisha looks like he's kind of smurfing in this game. That's not a good sign. Zai's here, Solar Crest. But he should be alright.
It's a tough one for Secret.
Yeah, Secret, they're going to try to slow down the game a little bit. I think try to get these ults that we talked about, get the Armel Blink Dagger, who's still... he's going to be a couple minutes away, but if you're Secret, I don't think you can force anything aggressively. It's too easy for Liquid to kind of counterplay you. So it's up to you, keep the map very open. If Liquid do overplay, you punish them.
Now they're taking enemy camps at this point. The siege is continuing to stay alive. Eventually will be taken out, but yeah, Secret have quite the uphill battle ahead of them here.
They sure do. As Chrysalis gates down bottom, realizes there's not much for him to have. Gates back up top. As yeah, I mean, I just love when carry players, I mean, I would say it's quite easy for you to understand this, but Mickey can just be here. And now Liquid can play the whole map. If anyone from Secret shows here, they have another play down bottom. Roxy hunting Chrysalis, just being very annoying. I mean, it might be more. He's even setting up a ward for a later play. Gets to steal the plasma field.
Very nice. And we haven't even gotten to the point of the game where Liquid's lineup is really disgusting. Like, we've seen the one chrono into Mortimer's, but we talked about the team fight of Secret, and it's not like Liquid doesn't have good team fight, though.
Oh, yeah, they have very good team fight. Like, I was saying maybe FPC can have like good timings, but he's a bit behind. As Zai.
Chrysalis, he's found out. Puppy's gonna come with the charge. Static Ring applied to Zai. Gets off the Soul Assumption, but Armel's in the area. So it gets off the Echo, and that's a kill onto Zai.
Echo.
Yeah, he did steal it, did a little bit of damage. Still not a kill yet onto the Secret side as Chrysalis trying to run away, but a Scatter Blast slows him to a crawl. One cookie does finish him off. The Black Hole coming out from Yamich leads to a kill onto Boxy,
nice.
but Mickey has joined the party. Chronosphere is there as Armel takes the tumble, and Yamich is next. Another cookie comes out, and FBZ will drop as well. It's a full team wipe as Liquid. They lose 2, but they'll take this any day of the week.
Casual Godlike at 13 minutes as Nisha with his boots of travel. I mean, this whole play wouldn't even be possible without him having that, but he just gets in there, comes around, just, you know, helps Zai out. Just, you know, good Echo Slam, but look at Boxy, the stolen plasma field from before. Now the Echo, even if it doesn't kill them, everyone is just so low HP. And they're all just coming. Liquid's just gating through, coming back, and look at this beautiful cookie. Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Delicious.
To the black hole. So, Liquid fighting back.
And there are a lot of good spell steals as well.
Oh yeah, they are.
There's an insane Rubik game. And Secret, based on the picking stage, they knew that they were probably going to take Rubik based on their opener.
Probably, yes.
I mean, when you pick Enigma that early, you know that Rubik's coming out.
Secret are down bottom. They're looking for a little bit of poke.
Yeah, okay. Was getting charged, but Puppy will rethink things. As Insania continuing to beat away with him with that stapler, but Nisha coming in with the cookie onto Chrysalis. Scatter Blast as well. More than enough to take out the position 1 of Secret. Puppy will drop in addition. Yamich caught out, and this is just an absolute stomp in favor of Liquid.
Not a kill. The problem is that you don't own anything on this map right now if you're Secret. I think maybe you just try to get what you can on the map, try and get some levels. I think when you're this far behind, it's really hard for them to make any moves. And Liquid are really mobile around the map, right? Boots of travel, you have the birds up. The one good thing for Secret, Armel now has his Blink Dagger, and he needs some godly Echo Slam coming up.
Yeah, they're gonna need probably more than that.
What's better than a godly Echo Slam?
Godly Echo Slam with the Vac Wall, with the Black Hole right after.
5-man charge.
They're probably
into 5-man block grenade. Okay.
Yeah, the block grenade's very important.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Crimson Guard. Thought maybe first item pipe would be better, but either way, damage mitigation. Secret will be getting that. I mean, FPC has good levels. If they can get to some 3-4 level vacuum, it's good. Zai up top. Echo.
Yeah, Echo initiation. Zai does take a ton of damage, but the Echo stomp from Insania with the Earth Splitter to come. Hits 3 members. And now FPZ gets a nice vacuum, but he's gonna die right after the fact. And Secret just can't get anything going here, even with getting the jump initially. Nisha not gonna follow suit here, but yeah, this
is a Maelstrom already?
He sure does.
These are some dirty timings. As I mean, for Liquid, they make it look very easy, and I kind of think it is for them. With currently the state of the game is in. You just have Insania, you know, he just babysits one of his 2 cores, sees it coming, perfect positioning, great stomp. Zai gets to walk it off, and now you have Rainbow TPs, and now we just right-click the homies, and they all die. Making it look simple.
Beautiful vacuum. Not able to get the wall off, though. Even if he did, I don't think it makes much of a difference here.
Yeah, sadly not. And Boxy has a stolen charge, going for a 3-man smoke as Puppey coming in mid.
Is under attack.
Okay. They see Crystallis on a good ward.
Yeah, Boxy with the charge. Crystallis is dead. Just adding insult to injury, Liquid rolling away with this game.
Don't worry, Mark.
Not running, rolling. It's faster. Downhill.
This is a big-ass snowball as Nisha, Invis, is going to try to set up a play with the easy deny.
Radiant's bottom tower
With the
has been
16-minute boots of
denied.
travel and Glip Glop. Has very good timings here. Oh, they're queuing up the Blink Dagger. They know what they need.
Oh yeah. Armel's going to go for the Aghanim Scepter next, so extra mobility for him. And I mean, it does feel like Earthshaker is one of those heroes that you pick against specific matchups to own. Like the Ember Spirit, we've seen it before.
Melee Spirits.
And getting off to like a good start feels really important
Yes.
for that hero, and it just wasn't. I mean, they lost literally every lane, so you could say that for every lane.
Even the matchup against Void, I think, is two-sided. Like, if you get time dilated, you can't really go Ags like this. He'll never jump around again.
Yeah,
and he's
that's
going
true.
S and Y for the status distance. And Secret are looking for a play. Find
Charge
Zai.
into Nether Strike. Zai very tanky.
He's got a pipe.
And Armel, he's going to have to be a little bit careful. Boxy will be able to help take out.
Back Echo.
Yeah, he's going to have the Chronosphere onto 2 now. Nice scatterbots as well. Nisha getting some good damage despite this Crimson Guard being activated. So Chrysalis does get taken out. Armel is next, and it just feels like Liquid can do literally anything as GG. I was going to say, like, this one is completely out of hand. And they're not going to pull, who was that yesterday? TSM, who held on for 40 minutes when we knew it was over.
Yep.
This one was over very quick, and sometimes that happens. Do you think this is more of a draft thing, or just the laning stage just ended up being a disaster?
I mean, sure, maybe Liquid has a slight advantage in the draft, right? But 4 bounties, first blood, your mid lane not going so well. I definitely think it's a mix of both. Didn't expect the game to be this one-sided, but yeah, I don't blame Secret for tapping out. I don't see really a chance. Man, just skip the time, be able to talk about the next game. But Liquid, my god. Yeah, Nisha, he legit was smurfing in this game. That's just what it looked like.
Yeah, he ends the game 12-0-8. By far the top network in the game as well. And I mean, they did have. We can talk about the lineups all we want, like based on the theory crafting of how the game would have went, but it didn't get past the laning stage, really.
It really didn't.
They just absolutely crushed. And again, just to reiterate, this series is extremely important for both
Very
teams.
important.
Both coming in 5-5, so that this very quick game puts Liquid now at 6-5. So Secret gonna have to find some of the magic from yesterday. And I feel like going up against Nisha just turns it onto another level versus Secret, right? And
I mean, he just went ham in this game. As for Secret, you know, they're good at adapting, so next game, we'll see something better from them for sure.
yeah, panel, that was a quick one.
A quick one indeed, one of the faster games that we've seen here on the group stages, and unfortunately, Team Secret unable to find any purchase in this initial game. My panel of Fear, Lacoste, and BSJ all expressed that they have a strong favorability towards this Team Liquid lineup. I think you gentlemen were holding out on me because this was much stompier than expected, Fear.
I was trying to be as nice as I could. I really didn't see many things that Secret could do in this game. Whenever you draft for 3 lanes to lose, and I was most skeptical about the mid lane, and ooh, that went worse than I expected, unfortunately. Armel misplaying just a little bit there to give Nisha a greater advantage. 4 bounty runes going the way of Team Liquid. Did anything go right for Secret this game is the question I have, and I can't answer that.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to find because, like, we've praised Team Secret before this one for having strong lanes, and that's how they managed to put themselves in a spot they're in right now, going also through the play-ins, but this was not the case. They pretty much lost all 3 lanes. This was Shaker into Range Hero, into Snapfire. That was, you know, a bit of a, maybe like, first blood, second blood potential, but he missed the Fissure, and his lane snowballed out of control so quickly. Rotation from Rubik, Snapfire kisses on top of it multiple times. Like, top lane also didn't go too well. Sure, you managed to get like a kill or 2, but that's about it. Razor was heavily underfarmed, didn't really feel the influence of the hero in this draft.
Yep, you were speaking about carries, BSJ, and you said that you want them to try and force this Faceless Void to buy BKB. That sort of assumes that the game is going to last long enough that BKBs come out.
Yeah, The thing about the Faceless Void pick was, if we can see it coming because of the ET and the Snapfire, they should see it coming too. And it's okay if you let it through if you have like a preemptive pseudo counter. But Razor is hard countered by any agility carry that can just jump around, you know? So that puts them at an immediate disadvantage. So now they're suddenly having to compensate for what happened there in the draft. So then your mid laner doesn't get to concern themselves with their matchup at all. They have to concern themselves with addressing the Void. Then you find yourself in the spot that you're in. And sometimes it works out, but in this case, I don't think Liquid's going to let you get away with that.
Yeah, Liquid not necessarily a team that's known for being very kind in situations where they have the draft advantage and the enemy team does not. And that's why they're able to walk away with the victory here. They also were able to make sure that the game looked quite complicated for Team Secret. None of their lanes really panned out. It helps a lot that their teamfight execution was also on point throughout the entirety of the game. And to highlight this, we have our STC play of the day ready for you to witness exactly how Team Liquid are able to conquer Team Secret in Game 1. So looking at this fight here, you know, you're Chrysalis, you're playing Razor, you're the Razor specialist. You're like, this doesn't still feel so bad. I've got this link out. We've got Eye of the Storm going. Maybe this fight can go well for us. And then it's like, oh, wait, no. Oh, damn. This is just going wrong very quickly.
Then you try running away, and what do you know? There's a cookie on the bird. Like, I'm free. Nope, there's a cookie on the bird. You're dead. Everything went pretty much wrong here. We got the Earth Splitter, the Chronosphere. Everything just pretty much landed, and I don't know, no one from Liquid had a bad game here, and I think at this point in the game, you're just a little low on damage, and Dota's really just as simple sometimes. Lose 3 lanes, lose game. And if you lose a team fight directly after that, that's kind of why this game was called so quickly. They lost multiple team fights consecutively after losing the laning stage. I don't blame it at all. They gave it a shot, they tried to come back, they were too far behind.
Yep, this was a fighting lineup because when you recognize that you can't take fights, very unlikely you're going to be able to take Roshan. There's honestly pretty much nothing you could do.
Yeah, I mean, we could have felt it coming. You know, the GG's gonna drop in the old chat for a good reason. I mean, there's nothing in this game that's gonna make you like come back unless you man some like 5-man vacuum into Black Hole Echo Slam. But seems like Puppey, he figured out that the game has already been lost. He wants to scratch it, does not want to play it for another 10-15 minutes, put himself and the rest of the team in a spot where they're like, you know, just mentally drained from playing the game. So they're like, screw it, we're gonna start a new one.
To be fair, this is Puppey, right? And Puppey has been a stubborn captain in the past. He's allowed teams to pick very strong strategies, try to run them in situations that his own team might not be optimal in, and try to eke out some kind of advantage. So if there's any captain in the world, BSJ, that I don't think will be mentally affected all that much by this kind of loss, probably him, right?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like coming into this series, Liquid looked at, we saw them in their second round of bans. Secret had opened the exact same 2 heroes earlier. They banned the heroes they picked them with. I think Secret had an idea of what they wanted to do coming in, but they didn't necessarily think, how is Liquid going to counter what we're doing today? Because going into game 2, I think that's an easy adjustment. I think they could run back a very similar draft and just say, we're confident in our ideas. There's always going to be a couple heroes that make them more difficult to execute. Maybe take those out in the second round of bans, and we'll feel pretty good about ourselves.
I guess they felt a little more confident looking back when they beat BB Team. They actually beat a Void Snapfire with that Razor Enigma strategy, so they probably thought they could do it again. But Liquid, they just brought a different level of gameplay.
Well, Team Liquid found themselves in the driver's seat right now with a 1-game advantage, running back a win from the lower bracket finals of TI 2022. Right now, you know, they are looking a little bit shaky, Team Secret. However, Puppey has found himself in several grand finals for a reason. And of course, they'll be able to maybe make a comeback in game 2. Right now, though, I want a quick word with some other grand finalists from TI, some winners who have also lifted the trophy. And to find out more from them, I have Jenkins on the ground to interview Team Spirit.
You know what talent do on their downtime? You don't want to know, but sometimes they play Dota, and I'm going to bother them while they're doing that. Hey, what's been your favorite team to watch this tournament? Great. Effie, very nice. Playing some Earth Spirit, I see. What's your favorite hero pick that's been in this tournament?
There hasn't been an Earth Spirit, so none.
Thank you. Dota Capitalist playing Shiver, good to see you're playing Ancient Apparition. Very good. So very.
Played it today, and Muparska played it today, and he won. He won.
Go ahead.
PL is here. Let's kill PL, Faithman.
This is Dota 2 talent in their natural habitat, guys. It's clearly I'm running out of ideas here, and that's gonna be back to you, Snare.
Oh, Jenkins. Well, we all have to play some Dota. It's the most fun game in the world, the best game ever created. A very difficult game, but that's kind of why we love it. Right now, while the rest of everybody else is having fun playing some Dota, we are here to analyze what's happening with Team Liquid and Team Spirit. I want to hear some ideas for you about how should they be adjusting going into Game 2. As you said, they ran this draft and actually beat a similar strategy to what Team Liquid had to offer. Clearly, though, Team Liquid a little bit better than what we saw Team BetBoom team being able to utilize in that situation. What do you want to see them do draft-wise from Team Secret heading into Game 2?
I think it's very clear that you can't run the same strategy twice against Team Liquid. They will come prepared. They know what to do. I think it's time to use Puppy's versatility as a captain, his unique advantage of being able to pick multiple heroes. He's got to come up with something new, and he's got to come up with it quickly. And then, of course, the rest of the team just has to perform. I know it might be a little difficult after a pretty demoralizing loss after that, but I think that's why he called it early, so they can get in good spirits quickly. Come up with a new strategy. You can't run the same thing that you already ran against Liquid. They're going to see it coming and they're going to exploit it.
They had first pick this time around, Lacoste. On the 8th, should they maybe, instead of angling for a hero like the Darkseer, maybe get something for Chrysalis, get his Bloodseeker, get his Monkey King, get one of his better heroes that actually allow him to be able to progress throughout the mid game?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get hands on the Monkey King because it was banned. It's a flex pick for them, so feeling like, this Darkseer could have been something different. I did mention in our green room that it could have been Bloodseeker, just run what's really good for them. He broke some records with the hero for a good reason. It's a stable pick. They know how to play around the Bloodseeker. Doesn't necessarily need to be Bloodseeker, but I feel like they play the best when they secure the lane for Crystallis.
Another hero that we saw do really well, BSJ, ET. The more I see this hero, the more I'm like, yeah, okay, you need to be addressing this hero very early on. It feels like it's first phase material, honestly, the more I think about this hero. What's your read on the ET?
This hero's always been conceptually broken. Like, Natural Order as a spell is just... it's broken. Like, you remove all their base armor, all their base magic resistance, and in a patch where Void carries like Void are popular, then his stock rises even further, and a lot of the babysitting 5s and also the 4s that would dominate the lane and out harass you, they've been nerfed. So suddenly ET's laning stage is much more reliable than it has been in the past, and it looks like just all the pieces are coming together for this hero, and I'm a big fan of it.
Also, the additional Blood Grenade does make some of these 5s that were not as good much more viable, because it's something that you need, like that a little bit of extra damage, that's slow so you can get your punches in. That's why we see like a Venomancer as well, very annoying as position 5. I think just overall, like First Blood Grenade, one of the better items we've seen added in our game in the recent years.
This is a support player.
Yeah,
carry. I'm like, get this crap out of my game.
Speaking of Blood Grenade, are we going to see Undying potentially here, Fear?
If we could, but it's not a hero that strikes me as Puppy, right? I've seen him play it, he can play everything, but it's not his traditional POS 5. We know Insania can play it, he'll probably want to pick it up if it's a good game for it, but I think compared to most matches where both 5s really want to pick this hero, it's not highly as contested as I think Team Secret not as interested in this hero.
Actually, this took me about this, right? Because Puppy does have a very unique hero pool. Over the years, he has obviously played a lot of heroes. He played pretty much everything, right?
Yeah.
But what is it that keeps him playing this particular niche of zoo heroes relative to all the other 5s in the world?
I think he likes his farm.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say the same thing, my man. He loves to farm. He likes to be in the jungle, left alone maybe for a minute or two to get the items, or if the game does allow him. So if lanes are going well, he's going to be picking Venomancer, going into triangle, slowing things down, and then he'll show up with the 2-3 items. And it's like, I'm a core. There was also a time when Nature's Prophet was really popular. You'll see him being top network, not even exaggerating, like literally top 1 when he's playing certain heroes.
It was a while ago, but there was a game where he played Ogre, and I just saw him go to his safe lane and just farm for 4 minutes straight in the safe lane on Ogre. So like, it's a lot better if you place these heroes that can pressure while farming, because you already know he kind of wants to get that farm.
Yeah, if he's going to be getting that farm, honestly, I'm kind of hoping that he does play Enchantress. It was available from the first phase, if I remember correctly, and it's a hero we've not only seen Puppy dominate meta after meta after meta with, but it's also been a hero here at the Riyadh Masters that has been eking up in popularity and eking up in its damage output. And in Game 1, we definitely saw Team Secret not only lacking options of control and teamfight, but also just of being able to hurt the enemy heroes. Going into this second game, let us hope they have what it takes to make it more competitive. So let's get into it. Game 2 of Team Secret versus Team Liquid. Game 2 of Team Secret versus Team Liquid. The draft is live. And Brian, I asked you a couple of days ago about the Radiant first pick ratio. Today, that has not been the case at all for these last few series. It has been almost exclusively Radiant second pick and Dire first pick. So firstly, talk to me about what do you think the change-up happened and which do you favor, given that Dire first pick so far has been enjoying a fairly high win percentage?
I'd be curious to know, what are people changing? Are they choosing to prioritize Radiant over Dire, or are they choosing to prioritize second pick over first pick?
I am not sure yet.
Because that's the part that I think would really tell the tale, because these drafts, like, so much about the meta in terms of the, I'd almost say the lack of balance of heroes. If there's certain heroes that are just absolutely broken, I don't think there's really any of those right now, then I think first pick goes up in value. But right now, that's not really the case, and then you're looking at a lot of teams that are outright losing in the laning phase, and that's much more likely to happen if you are first pick, because second pick has the 8th overall pick and the 10th overall pick, which gives them 2 out of 3 favorable lanes. And I wouldn't be surprised, based on games like that we've been seeing happening more and more, that teams are leaning towards second pick.
Okay. All right, now Team Secret, they have the second pick for themselves, so the decision they have to make right now on this ban Lacoste is whether or not to remove the IO. Leaving it in almost guarantees that Team Liquid will snag it up.
Yeah, I mean, Puppy, he's been pretty stubborn as a captain throughout his whole career, pretty much. If he thinks that something is broken, he's gonna try to beat it. Maybe this is not the right time, considering the situation they're in, because they need this dub here, so maybe go with something more stable. There's a bit of a switch up in the ban, because they did not ban Broodmother in the first one. They banned it on 21st. So both of these heroes that were banned by Team Secret are still left in the pool.
Okay, let's see now to Team Liquid whether or not they're just going to snag the IO that they are currently undefeated with here at the Riyadh Masters. They, of course, made the decision to remove Bat Rider and the Monkey King, leaving Bloodseeker in the pool still, Rubik in the pool. Team Secret themselves, of course, choosing to take out the Enigma. And they actually opt for the Snapfire instead. If you were in their position, Fia, would you have chosen Snapfire or IO? Like, are you going to try to save the IO for the 8th pick, potentially?
I don't think you want to pick IO if you don't have the Razor or the Lesh in the first pick. I think what they're doing here is just maybe saving that strategy for later, not showing that they want to play IO Lesh every single game, and they maybe don't need it to beat Secret, and they know Secret doesn't play it either. So it's going to be a situation where they're just like, we don't have to play it, they're not going to pick it, this might be the game to just ignore it.
BSJ, this man right here, Fia, 1 TI off the back of the enemy team, not playing a broken hero to the same level as his squad. Is this potentially an issue for Team Secret?
Oh, absolutely. I thought, like, Liquid's opener in the first game, they took Snapfire as opposed to what they would normally take because of that exact dynamic. I think them leaving IO in the pool, if they have other strats they're as confident on, and making it so Secret either has to be concerned about it for the rest of the draft or proceeds to have to ban it in the second round, that just puts them at an even bigger advantage. And so I think that this Razor opener for Secret is, they're about the only team that I wouldn't think instantly lost the draft by picking this, but at the same time, this is a hero that needs link targets. Like, this is a hero that needs good matchups. There's only been a few patches ever where he was super broken to the point where you could first pick him, and that was because he was dominant in the laning phase. But what they've done to this hero is they've buffed his late game, but they've nerfed his static link in the early levels time and time again. So this is just not the same hero in that regard, similar to Ursa over the years, that I'm a little bit skeptical that they're going to be able to make it work, even if it's a flex.
Yeah, and Team Liquid, it's taking them a lot of time to go for this pick. I mean, Rubik is still available. Rubik Snapfire, we saw it even in the previous game, stealing Plasma Field from Razor, +1 Fade Bolt, everyone down to half HP already. But seems like that was the pretty much, do we pick it or do we go for something else? So getting Lycan, and it's a flex pick for Team Liquid, so they can run it on the safe lane, they can use Lycan on the off lane as well, which I think that this should probably be the safe lane Lycan, because I don't know if you can protect Lycan, because this is a really killer lane from Team Secret. Razor Clockwork, you trapped him down, static link. Lycan's gonna die if he's being played from the off lane.
So to BSJ's point, Fear, whenever you pick this Razor hero, if he's picked first phase at those tournaments, 7 picks, 42% win rate. Second phase, 6 picks, 67%. And if he's picked at the end of the draft, he's got 5 at the 80% win rate. So it is a huge risk to go for this so early on.
He's definitely one of those heroes. The more you see, the better he gets. But Team Secret are very confident And this isn't, they're no stranger to putting Crystallis in a position where he has to first face his hero. It's like, what are you comfortable with? Pick it. That just means that other players in the team have to step up a bit. They have to be in a position where they might have to carry the game. The only issue I have with that though is FBZ, he's not that type of player where you're gonna see him last pick a Meepo and carry the game. He's wanting to mainly just play these initiators, these stuns, stuff like that. Perhaps Armel can do it, but yet again, it's a tall ask to ask your mid laner to carry the game and also lane against this monster of a hero that is Snapfire in this patch. So it's definitely not putting them in a draft advantage, but it might put them in a spot where they feel more comfortable as a team to perform better.
I now really want to see Armel play the puck. I see the Snapfire, I want to put the puck in that lane, and I see the Lycan puck is traditionally done fairly well against that hero.
Yeah, I just want to see him play the hero where he's like not pushed, he's not bullied out of the lane 5-6 minutes into the game, and then he's playing a catch-up game. I think Armel shines when he's the one setting the tempo for the game on his like signature heroes where he can rotate to the side lanes, pick up the runes. Team also needs to play around him, but Team Secret also making adjustments, not just in the first phase, but also banning Faceless Void. That was pretty crucial in the win in the first game. So let's see how they're gonna defend what they already have. I think like FBZ, he's been known to play Mars a lot. Like this is his signature hero against Lycan, against Snapfire. This is the one that could work out. So you'll have like another way of initiating. Just try to create chaotic environment one side of Secret and try to beat Liquid.
Yeah, whenever I see Lycan in this sort of situation where your carry or mid doesn't particularly deal them very well, same with your 5, I would really like a wall hero. I wasn't even thinking that literally with the Mars, but I was thinking a hero that like the Lycan's ready to push a tower, they're threatening an area on the map, and that hero just walks in and you can't really send their summons. These heroes are like Underlord, Tidehunter, Timbersaw, just stuff like this. I would really think that makes Secret's draft easier. That's one route, which allows you to kind of stalemate the pressure that Lycan's creating, or you can go the all-in, kill them route, which is more in tune with what you were saying, Lacoste, with the hero like Mars.
And the question comes to, how do you win the game if you do play this style? Because Razor, generally, if you first pick him, isn't going to be a win condition. Sometimes you see Crystallis on these Bloodseeker, Razor type of heroes, Monkey King. They're not the hardest of carries, right? And that's when you're noticing Team Liquid, they're banning TA every single game in the second phase, because that is a hero Armel can play to add that extra help to carry the game here. And where are you going to find that on Team Secret? Or are you just banking on the fact that you're going to miraculously just crush Liquid and just always be ahead? A little bit of a risky gamble to go for, I think.
All these 3 heroes that like Fear mentioned, and also like, because if you're playing the signature Crystallis hero, you also need someone to like end the game. You might get the advantage. This is where TA comes in clutch. She's the one that deals damage, that opens up Roche as well with the Deso, where you can actually go for tier 2s, go for tier 3 towers with the second Aegis, but she's gone. So they need to figure out, like, and looking at the bans, this Razor, I don't see that Team Secret so far flexed it. Not here, not during the Dream League, but they banned out Bloodseeker, which, you know, can be flexed from the offlane if necessary. Naga Siren, we don't see it as much unless it's Jabs playing it.
Yeah. My history with FBZ, even when, if you go back to that patch where Amar Razor, Amar Viper, everyone started playing these heroes in the offlane, he really struggled to make that type of playstyle work for him. So that's definitely not something that Secret's eyeballing to do.
What's stopping Liquid from just IO storming in the second round here? It's like I think it's a relatively huge oversight for Secret, because that's the opening that... So what happened was Tundra did this exact duo, Clockwork Razor, against Liquid earlier, and Liquid's opener that game was IO Storm. And so I'm just looking at this situation and thinking, if you pivot the Snapfire to a support and just do IO Storm, that seems pretty sick to me right now, but I might be missing something.
Storm is definitely
it would be fine with me too.
Yeah, seems good. IO Storm, Quadro Storm, both of them I think could be relatively good here. IO probably a little bit better, but either way, just on Storm and some kind of battery, I think could be very good. Complicate life for the Razor.
Is still flexible, can push it down to position 4. It's also a hero if you want to lane this either Lycan or someone else with, you have like at least Cookie to try to push them to get out of the cogs, break the static link. But I don't think Lycan's gonna have a good time, because he's gonna be playing into either Clockwork plus Razor or Timbersaw.
Ooh, that's... I thought they were going to try to cloak the flex of the Lycan. That's why I thought the mid was going to be coming out here.
Yeah.
Drow's always been great about Razor, not the best against Clock Timber. What do you guys think? their reasoning is for putting Drow so early.
Strong lane, like you have Undying, that's going to secure the lane for Drow Ranger. This has been the opener for the last, like, at the start of 2023 for a good 4 or 5 months, pretty much. And also, Hurricane Pike, like you build into Hurricane Pike as your first item. I know that Aghanim Scepter is really popular nowadays. It's still going to be an item in this game, especially against Timber. I just think you like build into Pike, you protect yourself, you have grab ally, ult, save as well, plus a cookie. There's going to be like so much save again on side of Team Liquid, same as they did in game number 1.
What do you think, Fear, about this Drow with the Undying? As Lacoste was saying, this was all the rage early on in the year, but it fell off for a reason, right?
Well, it's mainly because the Shard got nerfed for the Drow, right? And Undying at that time was overshadowed by slightly stronger supports, but he's back in the meta after the shifts. But it is a good game for going for the Aghanim Scepter. Razor, he doesn't like playing versus heroes that build Pike, especially not the Drow who can pierce all of his armor. It's an interesting pick. It doesn't seem like the same type of pick of the last game where it's like, wow, this Void's just gonna 1v9 the game. They have some answers to it. Like Enchantress can play fast against it. If Clock gets on top of the Drow and can cog it backwards, things can happen where you can have an advantage. And I think that's why Secret really prioritized the Clockwork as well here. Bit better draft from Secret this time around, I must say, but the Drow definitely fits what they want to do, and they potentially could struggle a bit more in the laning stage here for Team Liquid, as Lycan probably shouldn't have a good laning stage against the Razor. Timber should be fine if they want to throw in the offlane against the Drow Ranger as well, so much better for Secret already.
Liquid will still respect FBZ's Mars because they think there's potential that Timbersaw is played from the mid lane, and one hero that, like, if he catches Drow Ranger or catches Lycan inside the arena, they have a lot of damage that they can pump in.
Yep. That is the one thing about those draft BSJ is that they have a lot more damage options on the side of Team Secret. Just between the Timbersaw and the Enchantress, way better than in Game 1 if they ever do close down these heroes. Because Game 1 we saw sometimes they'd catch heroes, not be able to finish them off. If that happens this time around, that's not really going to be that big of a problem.
Oh, absolutely. I think I've been trying to emphasize when I'm analyzing drafts from the carry perspective, the items that they want to build. I talked about the BKB with Void in the first game. You already mentioned Fear, the Hurricane Pike on Drow. Mars would have absolutely destroyed that concept because you would have to go for a BKB rather than the Hurricane Pike. And now what I'm looking at is I would love to see Secret pick, like last pick Storm mid, something along those lines, a Puck that you don't feel all that great about buying Force Staff against as a form of survivability, because my only concern for Secret right now is I think their early game is really strong, but they really do lack catch if Liquid manages to get a couple Force Staffs, like just drums, overall just walking away from you. So if they pick that themselves, I'd be really happy on the side of Secret.
They banned the Storm Turret themselves on the side of Team Secret. So.
I like Puck's suggestion a lot, just because Armel, he really excels at the hero. There was a game against Acer where they lost the game, he died only once, but also just keep them in place. Great against Lycan, great against Drow Ranger, allows the rest of the team to get close and deal damage, and not too bad of a matchup against Snapfire.
What's going mid here, though, on the side of Team Liquid Fear? Are they going to be flexing the Snapfire? Yeah. Well, we have to answer.
I thought they might do that, but it's such a weird pick with the rest of their lineup. Like, they have no arrows set up. This feels like they just picked the Mirana to deal with Enchantress in the laning stage, like no other reason. Boxy's gonna have to get some of the best arrows of his life because he has 0 setup. Maybe Cookie. Has anyone seen an arrow Cookie anytime soon? I haven't seen it, so.
What about Zombie Slow into the arrow?
Zombie Slow, Frost Arrow into arrow. There we go.
By Atos.
Yeah, once he gets that axe, those like 9, freeze, or what's the Frostburn stacks from Drow? That's really gonna add up to a point. Yeah, Hypothermia, they're not gonna move.
Armel Wind Ranger coming in. This is going to be his second
last game against the Snapfire, because like Snapfire's a really strong laner, right? You're not going to particularly beat it, so pick another one of these heroes like Snapfire that are universal and go 50-50. I think it's a pretty good call here. You can get on top of the Drow here. You will melt the Drow really quick. I actually like Seeker's draft quite a bit in this one. This Mirana is not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just not a big fan. I don't think like Mirana fixes it by any means. They can also swap things around, have Yamich play safe lane with Crystallis's Razor, and then you have like Enchantress who can roam around, leave FBZ alone, maybe backstab the mid lane as well, get a kill on Nisha while Armel like gets level 5, gets level 6. I don't know. I'm liking Team Secret. I think they fixed the issues that they had in game number 1 and came in very strong in the second draft.
Yes, yeah, you were talking about itemization, right? This time around, RML, on his Wind Ranger, can buy that Gleipnir to sort of disable the forced off plays that could come out from Team Liquid. Is it enough, in your opinion, to give them the advantage for Game 2?
Yeah, I think it's his job to just get up in Mickey's face, make sure that those True Strikes, the ult procs from Drow are not basically pummeling the Razor, because then Crystallis will be able to maneuver fights much easier. So I'd love to just see him itemize to survive and just win run on top of Mickey. I am in agreement with the rest of my panel here. I think the Secret draft looks much better than Game 1. If I'm going to give Liquid's draft a timing, I would say if their bottom lane against the Clock Razor goes a bit better than it should on paper, and the Undying Drow lane dominates like it normally does, then they absolutely will hit a timing where Drow has 2 items, Lycan has 2 items, and then they just run you down.
So Team Secret Game 2?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Lacoste?
Same.
Yep.
They're going to bring it back and tie it back up.
They're going to bring it back and tie it back up. That is kind of what we want, because a 1-1 in the group stages of a TI lower bracket finals run back is pretty much what we deserve, because I'd rather prefer a stomp happen in the playoffs than here in the group stages itself. Team Secret came into this 5-5 tied with Team Liquid, but if they find themselves losing, they might not get to the playoffs to begin with. To find out exactly what's going to happen in this incredible matchup, I have the Grab Ally boys of Sunsfan and Kezu. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Snare. And yeah, the panel really hating on this Liquid draft, but as Snare mentioned, there's 2 things they missed. Grab Ally,
yes.
Glacier, and not only are they in the game, they're in the same team. Imagine
what can happen.
The Tombstone on top of the Glacier, and then when the Glacier gets removed, it crashes the server because it doesn't know where to put the Tombstone anymore. Does it hover in midair? Does it come to the ground? We probably won't find out in this game.
We might.
But I'm excited to see the potential.
I think it will drop down, but yeah, as the panel was talking about a little bit, Mirana pick, I would assume it's mainly for the Lycan matchup bottom to help against the, the wolves that Puppey is gonna steal in that lane. But his best arrow setup is gonna be the Atos later from Nisha and mid. As looks like Secret wanna go for a later-ish smoke. They don't wanna give 4 goddamn bounty runes to Liquid this time around. So yeah, I like it. Good job, guys.
I mean, that's demoralizing if nothing else, right? At least get 1.
Oh, Boxy.
Yeah, Box is gonna try to sneak his way over here, but
the battle begins.
Has the vision. And we'll give it up. So this time around, it's a split.
A 2-for-2 split, but I do agree. I would say Secret's draft is pretty good. I give them way better chances this time around as they did in Game 1. As we have a cool arrow. What up, Puppey? It's going to skill heal. It's going to just battle it away, but I do think it's a bit interesting that they decided to pick Drow into the Timber. So far from what I've seen is that Timber is very annoying because he just gets into the Drow's face and kind of forces her to run away. But it must have just been, it might just be mainly for the Razor. So we'll see if there's also something that I just don't know. But in terms of their laning, as we have a bit of a switcheroo, we have Razor up here.
Indeed. I mean, they talked about this potential combo in the laning stage with the Cogs setting up a nice static link. And
yeah.
I mean, these heroes on the side of Liquid not going to be able to do too much against that.
This is... On one hand, I like it, and on the other hand, I'm not sure if it's that good. Because how I envision it is that you have Eng laning against Lycan. I mean, you still have that. But with Timber being top, you could leave him alone and allow the clock to rotate to the bottom lane. But I mean, this way, at least FBZ will have an absolute free game in this bottom lane against the Lycan.
Yep, off to a pretty good start already.
Arrow.
As the arrow will be deleting the range creep from the side of Boxy and Liquid. And yeah, we'll see if they can. I mean, is this in that top lane with Crystallis and Yamish? This, I assume, is something they want to turn into a kill lane. This is the reason to put that in.
I mean, I would say it's mainly to make sure you enable your Timber, but
so it's mostly the Timber.
Yeah, this lane can also kill, of course, with the Razor and the Clock, but I do think the early CSing should be very annoying for Razor in this lane. Like, Undying is always going to be more in your face than, Clock won't really return the favor. Yeah, I guess you can try to link up on Insania later, try to out-CS them, but yeah.
I think we're already showing that's the case with only 3 last hits for Crystallis so far, but I mean, once he hits level 2, I'm sure he'll be able to solidify himself in this lane, as he does now.
I mean, I don't mind the idea. I think if you have a fat Timber in this game, like, he's gonna be this roadblock that Lycan hates to play against, and it's gonna help your Razor, like, get into the Drow Ranger's face. So, if that's the idea they're going for, then I can kind of see it.
FBZ. Well, actually, let's talk about the mid lane. So mid lane, we have Wind Ranger by Armel and Nisha again with the Snapfire.
Yeah.
How does this matchup go? Two universal heroes against each other.
I would say once again it should be very, maybe some, I feel like this is very 50-50. I do see that Nisha has a slight damage advantage, and maybe once he gets 6, I just feel like he has more opening, so I would rather be the Snapfire. Just seems like this hero doesn't really have any bad matchups, and even if you did, you can get your ult, one guy comes mid, maybe you get a kill, or you just TP side lane, you do that, so I think Armel's gonna have a bit of a slower game, but he'll have a good game.
Oh, battery assault is
Poppy
there.
is
Actually, a TP already coming in as well, as Mickey taking massive amounts of damage, and he's gonna go down. Tombstone placed as Puppy there with the heals. Trying to take out this Tombstone. Looks like they will get it, actually, so no deny coming out. Puppy does take a tumble as Crystallis getting blocked a bit here, gets off the plasma. Feel Insane continuing with these annoying decays, so the supports reign supreme. So it ends up being a 3-for-1, but I mean, the 1 was a very important position when Drow.
That actually looked so good, but Boxy was really quick on the return here, to come top and help out as well. So Liquid doing a nice job of counterplaying it. I mean, that is at least like also, I mean, he just TPs up there, gets off a good arrow with the Tombstone. Probably got the first blood, so, you know, I think Liquid are still pretty happy with just the fact that Insania got like, I think pretty sure he got level 3 off of this kill. So when he comes back, he's just going to be full HP and everything, but Secrets still have this nice mobility around the map where early on I touched maybe the clock would be freed up, but this way Puppy's just going to be completely free in the game. He's in the dire triangle right now, just chilling.
Yep, and this is a hero that I find very unique in that you're able to gank early, and then mid-game you can go several different routes.
Yeah.
And we've seen so many games where Puppy specifically has been able to just deal so much damage as a position 5 to deal that much damage in fights with Impetus with just like one item, basically. Kind of insane.
I mean, a lot of this early movement will be very important, especially also if Yamage can get some levels. Very big against these dire heroes, especially the Mickey Drow Ranger here in this game, because I think Puppy right now, he basically has freedom, right? You have Timber against Lycan, you absolutely free farm that. Zai is forced to pull some waves, try and be creative. So Liquid just have 3 heroes top to try and slow down Crystallis' game a little bit. I think once we have the 6-minute rune coming up, there's going to be a lot of people coming into this mid lane.
Yep, I would assume so as well.
Dodge the arrow!
Some support shenanigans as Roche is going to watch on. But in that mid lane, 27-4 for the Wind Ranger and 28-5 for the Snap. So very, very even thus far.
Easy dodge.
And Boxy getting chased out by Keith the Bold, of course.
It's a very funny early game, actually. Like, no one's really laning against each other. Like, top lane Crystallis is just dodging like 3 heroes. Zai's dodging bottom. Puppy's dodging arrows from Boxy.
Yeah, more support rotations here from Liquid. And now that we're approaching the 6 minutes, let's see who ends up getting the rune and if a fight breaks out. Puppy only level 2 right now as Yamich gets off the battery assault to try to create some space. The zombies continuing to chase. Blood grenades as well. He's not going to get out of here, so Liquid likely will have the advantage at this rune area, although Puppy and company will chill bottom, but ends up being a regen rune top that Boxy will end up giving to Nisha.
Yep, Nisha once again just going to have a good early game as Snapfire kind of just always has. I think even with the Snap ult, it's not the easiest to kill FBZ, so I'm not sure if Nisha is going to look much into the bottom lane. I feel like you would need Ato's arrow into that later. But once again, I think Crystallis is... His net worth is good, but now that Nisha is high level, it's really hard for Crystallis, I think, to step up in his top lane. So it's kind of on Secret to try and create pressure around this Timber or around the Wind Ranger mid, I think, to free him up a little bit. Maybe just force Nisha to TP somewhere else or force him to use his ult.
Yeah, it's kind of a stark contrast from last game when the Mortimer's Kisses were easily set up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you mentioned the arrow not having a true setup until the Atos comes online, but likely we won't be seeing any solo kills, at least, with the Kisses.
Yeah, I don't...
Not early on, at least.
Don't really see it as we have Wisdom runes come out, 1-for-1 split. So, no, not too much going on, but I think FBZ is the biggest winner of this game right now with what's going on. Level 7, absolute free farm, he's an entire level ahead of Zai, and there's not that much stopping him. Like, if you want to stop a Timber, it's generally around this timing now. But they need more setup, so they're pinging him. Nisha is
going
coming
in pretty deep. Zai's gonna pop his
Oh, he
ult,
changed
and
right into
Nisha
it.
has come to play as well. It's a 3 versus 1. Can they kill the top net worth in the game? Yes. Zai gets credit for it.
Ooh, and that without the kisses.
Like. Yeah, multi-shot into a couple of heroes, making Insania want to continue to chase as Boxy has come as well. And Puppey will end up going down. Chrysalis, does he actually want to fight here? Gets off the static link onto Insania, the focus fire as well. All of that just for a position 5 Undying, but Secret will get it.
Okay, so Secret is bringing the party up top, but they do only get an Undying over here as FBZ, so he's going to be able to just TP back bottom and try and return to his free farm glory, but definitely very big kill for Liquid. And they didn't even use the Mortimer's Kisses. I really want to stress about how important that is. So there's still this side lane pressure on both the Timber and Crystallis once Nisha has his next TP available.
Yep, showing himself mid right now.
Don't get cross with me.
And Shield Rune has been snagged up again by Nisha, so both power runes so far on the side of Liquid.
I would say he is fairly unkillable with a Shield Rune at this stage of the game, as they do find Yamich in the jungle.
Yeah, does have Cogs though, nice sidestep, but he's gonna get gusted.
Oh, the cookie poop!
Cookie is there, and that should lead to the death of the clock. Liquid, I feel like their supports are roaming a lot this game. They're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, they're just nicely moving together, and even if it's not like the most natural support duo to run around and do stuff, no, making it work.
That is the saddest picture. Look at that.
Oh, he's
One
so
dead
sad.
wolf and a sad brother.
No.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It is. Don't show me the screen again.
Yeah.
Zai, just chilling. Yeah, screw you, JJ.
It's sad. Very sad indeed.
Okay, and we're going for another family gank up top, as Puppey is coming with his bro, Jimmy. Mickey gonna sidestep a bit. Looks like he did see him.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to pounce, it seems. Armel.
Insania
Looking
bait.
to D-ward here. He will.
He is.
Yamish just walks right up to Insania. He gets the Cogs battery cell combination. Centaur Stomp's going to end up being dodged as well as the first Mortimer Kisses of the game will be used. And Yamich will drop as a result.
Only needed to hit one to get that kill. I feel like Insania made that very obvious that he was kind of baiting that, but Armel does just walk it off. But very nice rotation. You just kind of dodge the lane with Lycan where your counter is in, which is the Timber's lane. You just go mid as we have some mass TPs on Crystallis.
And Crystallis.
Looks like one was cancelled.
Is under attack.
He's going to continue to get chased here. Boxy.
He's just holding onto the arrow very nicely.
Absolutely. He's going to be hard-pressed to get the hell out of here. Nisha even with a haste rune.
Metal Man
TP
Snapfire.
attempt right now, and there's the arrow and the cookie. And down goes Crystallis again.
Face, you look like a smudge.
Yeah, he is. Looks like Secret were... Oh, they're hitting the top tower to death right now. FBZ still in a great position in this game. Wonder where he's going to try to go next, because with the type of game you have on this Timber, you either want to stay top network and just keep zooming up the whole map until you have an idling timing, or push it forward now. Like maybe 10-minute siege. Can you do much mid? Doesn't look like it. I guess Boxy could just run over and kind of kill it anyway. But now Liquid. Atos timing completed. Kisses will be up soon. Shapeshift will be up soon. So Secret.
Despite the kills being on Liquid's side, very even game net worth-wise. Who, at this stage, do you think either team is happy with how things are going? Like, does it favor one team or the other this early?
I actually think both teams are pretty happy with the state of the game. I don't know if it necessarily favors one much more than the other. I think it's more about how they execute the next couple of minutes with the items and like the next ults that are coming out. I kind of want to see how like FPZ tries to join the game, because so far he's been given the best lane with the most farm, the most XP, and haven't seen it yet, which is not necessarily his fault, you know. Sometimes you have to wait a bit more. But I think Liquid have like a lot more oomph and speed to like really break open the game with this next Shapeshift and the next Kisses and this Atos. As we hear a Shapeshift.
Yeah, Armel's going to win run away in anticipation of this. But either way, Liquid should be able to group up to take this tier 1 tower. The Helm of the Dom is online for Zai.
Low
they
friendo.
will end up finding
Oh,
Puppey,
good block.
but sacrificing themselves for Puppey.
Well done.
Very nicely done. So it ended up being a wasted shapeshift, but they're going to fortify. But you can see Armel TPing in. Not sure if Secret actually want to defend here.
Yeah, looks. I mean, Zai even has a purge creep in anticipation for the wind run to purge that out, but Armel did read the move earlier. I mean, even though you waste the shapeshift, so to say, you still got some tower on some damage on the mid tower. You fall back to farming. Don't think they're too unhappy about this. But yeah, a bit of a slower like transition from the early game here into the mid game.
All right, let's go back to the talk of Mickey and the Drow Ranger. Do you think he's a Glacier enjoyer?
Surely he is. I think we all have to be Glacier enjoyer. But he doesn't enjoy it as early as Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato seems to have been their earliest Iceberg enjoyer, as beautiful courier snipe from Zai.
Okay.
How many couriers have been killed this game? 2?
I don't know. I'm sure we'll see a graphic here.
Of dead chicken?
With a very dead couriers that look
Oh,
very
Atos.
sad. Atos. And the focus fire with the Chakram, FBZ.
With the double void
And
storm.
Armel team up to get that kill. Nisha, though.
Oh, easy
Still
arrow.
trying to go on top of this tier 1 tower. They find a Yamich in their way and blow right through him. But the tier 1 tower still remains.
Very nicely done with the Atos into the arrow, as FBZ, of course, is going to work his way into the Octarine core. Liquid already going for a quick smoke. Instantly get the kill, push out the wave, back off into Fog, smoke it up.
Yeah, they know
Crystal
Chris
is my
here.
bro.
They did use Scan for this. He's going to get the Plasma Field, but with the arrow and the cookie, more than enough to control Crystallis. That is 3 deaths, I want to say. Yeah. 2, 3, and 1 right now on the onto the Razor.
Oh, mid tower getting chipped down by the summons. I think they might just do it. Nisha running in to try and get a few more last hits on that. I mean, this is just why itemization on heroes as hold that Atos into the kisses.
Yeah, another sacrifice with the arrow, but the kisses are too much along with the right click of Boxy.
He definitely ate a lot of those. As, yeah, like just being able to build an Atos for your team, like just it being a good item for one of your heroes is like a big difference maker.
By the way, Yamich still level 5.
Yeah, that's
14
not ideal.
minutes.
And he's holding the wave here, so we'll have it very soon. But yeah, they are struggling. There is a Wisdom Rune, so we will be able to get that there. As Puppy's queuing up Holy Lock at first item. It's interesting. Have not seen that.
A Puppy level 5 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was level 2 for a long time. He was giving a lot of space to FBZ.
I mean, they've not been able to do as much, right? Like, sure, FBZ had this great early game, but I mean, he's still having a good mid game now, too. He's incredibly fat, but there weren't very many stacks for then the supports to get a lane or more XP gold there. But now if you're level 6 on the clock, and I think Armel having Atos and FBZ being as strong as he is, I think Secret should... You can start killing them in these areas.
He missed the hook shot, so level 6 didn't end up mattering.
Hook shot does whiff, yeah.
So Secret, I think, are going to abandon, not the game, this fight.
No, not the...
And
someone abandon quick.
If it was a pub, maybe. Who knows?
Okay. They see him with
spotted.
the vision. Close. That could have been death number 4.
The Wisdom Rune will finally be taken.
Yeah.
15 minutes by FBZ of all heroes. So I think Puppy is the recipient of the secondary aspect of the XP. Now finally has Untouchable.
Okay, I mean, levels are coming out. I would say with the next hookshot, you definitely want to look to strike back, as Liquid are kind of falling back on the map a little bit, but I think FBZ has... Like now, Crystallis, he can kind of join fights, but I don't think he really wants to. You would like to help him and able to get his BKB as fast as possible, so that he can then join you later. But this Timber, 2600 HP after this level up with a Vanguard Octarine core, I think it's time to use FBZ in your game and try to push back some areas, push back Liquid on the map, and get a couple of kills with the next hookshot.
Yep, Vanguard Octarine, and he'll be going for a Boom Boom time. The Aghanim Scepter,
You will get the
is
boom
what
boom.
you called it.
This is a great boom boom game. I mean, just getting 40 stacks
What
instantly,
makes it a good Boom Boom game?
the fact that Dire Team has a lot of physical damage.
Okay.
You just get like all the stacks against Drow Ranger. Honestly, Mickey is not going to deal a lot of damage to Timber. He will have this axe, so that is definitely going to help. But he's going to like have to stack up all the stacks first to then truly deal damage. And also against Lycan, it's great. And honestly, your Razor needs this. Both your Razor and Wind Ranger, they need you to go in and enable them and help them to like just run in there and get on top of the Drow.
We'll see if he can do damage. I mean, I think there's 2 aspects to it, right? The reactive armor instant stacks is probably the most important, but then if you can get the damage output as well, that is helpful. But this game,
there's a
hook shot comes in. This one will not miss from Mr. Yamich. Right into the Shackle shot, and Insania will drop. Now, In terms of Roche potential, I would say Liquid have a very good lineup to take it. Secret, not so much.
Secret
is
is like
okay.
Yeah, I would say Secret's okay. You have,
I mean, they have like Battery Assault untouchable, but like in terms of damage, it's like Timber's the most maybe.
yeah, so you have Timber and the Focus Fire Maelstrom. So I would say maybe in a couple minutes, Secret can start thinking about it. You get a couple more levels, maybe like 1.5 more items, tier 2 items to help you kill it faster. But yeah, Liquid's Roche is very devastating, I would say. You have Little Shredder minus armor, you have Flesh Golem, Tombstone, Aggressive Howl, Auras, and of course Drow Ranger. Because Liquid are hitting a lot of item timings. They got the big Dominator, they already have a Golem, Mickey is getting his Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah,
I think Nisha got whatever he wants.
Ags against Timbersaw, pretty insane.
Yeah.
That's literally the first hero I think of with Hypothermia being good against it.
Yeah.
Reactive armor will basically do nothing.
Morph, Timbers, all of that is very good as they have a ward. You see Nisha.
Spotted, hook shot, pushed back by the Cogs.
That's
Tries
a
to get
big
off
kill.
a cookie, but very big kill indeed. Crystallis nets himself a lot of money. That was close to 1,000 gold overall.
Oh, that was great timing from Secret to beat her. They get the high ground ward to see Nisha as Boxy gets himself all his little lotuses, has a solar crest as well now. Well, I think Secret are ready to fight back, you know, once they spawn. Similarly with Secret, I don't think they need to wait for that much more. Crystallis was able to indeed finish up his BKB. So if his teammates can go in for him, he'll be very happy. Looks like Liquid want to go straight into the Roche pit.
Yeah. Talked about.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See if they use some of these item timings. They have the BKB like you talked about, Leipnir now on Armel.
Oh, this drops fast.
But Liquid are able to take this super fast, and I think it's going to end up being uncontested.
Oh, the rocket is not going in the pit.
Yep, little off there.
A little off the mark as, yeah, this is going to be a free Roche for Team Liquid. And this changes quite a bit, so you're going to give it to who? Okay, to Nisha. He's going to be very tanky. He can still, he's going to have an even easier time using his Force Staff and Cookie on other people to keep them alive, because if you're Liquid, if you can just kind of dodge the early Focus Fire and the BKB from Razor and like push back with a Force or a Cookie while Lycan just keeps clamping them, and you allow your Drow to hit, you're in a great spot.
Tower is under attack.
See how they want to use this Aegis. First up for Liquid is this tier 1 top. We're approaching the 20-minute mark for the potential Tormentors, which means it'll be another 10 minutes before the teams realize that the Tormentors are in fact an objective.
They are. We will maybe soon see one of the teams go for it as Nisha is looking down bottom. Boots of Travel, Moonlight Shadow. Oh, hello, Pupan.
Yeah, Puppy.
And bye.
Very dead. Atos is going to be able to get off the heel, so it's going to be a bit annoying for them.
Oh, he's a tanky boy.
They have a stun, surely? Okay. Enough damage either way.
They do indeed. And another thing to keep in mind too, like if you're not on top of the Drow, like let's say you go on the Mirana or you go on the Snapfire, if Mickey is in range to give them all of this agility as well, to keep them top off with armor and Solar Crest, they're going to be very tanky.
This is the fastest Tormentor we've seen the entire tournament. It takes them 23 seconds to do it.
And the grab ally on the deck, baby.
That's right. Only one more to go, and the combo is there.
Everyone buy your shard quickly, and then go steal Radiant Tormentor.
Let's see if Mickey is opting for shard anytime soon. That's a big nope.
Nope, that's a very unfortunate build here.
That's all right. Hurricane Pike first, then the Glacier.
Then it will be the next item.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Axe completed on FBZ. I don't think we can ask for much more farm or much more frontlining. Like at this point, you're, I would dare say, nearly unkillable. At least if your team is in any vicinity, like kind of around you, you'll be a-okay. But the next items that come out for Liquid, I think it will like solely swing their type of damage output where they could kill you through it. So I'm still kind of under the impression where if I'm Secret, I would like to take a fight that, of course, is on my terms. You don't just want to force it into the Aegis, but if you see an angle, a smoke, you get a quick hookshot into pushback, I think they're strong enough to fight back.
And we're going to see a smoke from Secret, so they want to start something. Insania in pretty good position to tank the gank, so to speak. He's going to show himself on the decay, and there's the hook shot.
Oh, he's a goner.
Insania don't pick out for Secret, but I mean, Liquid obviously going to still be okay with this.
Yeah, for sure. As the rest of the pros are all just farming. We do have Zai's shard, gonna continue to help with the lanes, of course, give himself some more gold, maybe some tower push as well. Moonlight Shadow is being popped. That is the shapeshift.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
nice
arrow
arrow.
actually connect.
Oh, he's
oh
dead.
boy, Crystallis. That's a rough death right there.
Well, Legolas right here.
That arrow did not look like it should have hit.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of like swerved around. This guy's good.
I mean, that Razor model may be a little bit. It's the Arcana. It's pay to lose.
Yeah, it is actually pay to lose. As our Mel could get. That didn't see him. No, Boxy's pinging him. He's
still
like,
there though. Oh no!
Oh,
arrow will
body
not
blocks.
hit this time.
He doesn't have TP.
Yeah,
And no BKB anyway.
Cookie.
Yeah.
The Gleipnir does come out, but two really costly deaths for Secret. This game was feeling, despite even giving up the Aegis, the first Roche overall, feeling very even, but this one gives Liquid the extra push, I feel like, to gain a little bit more control.
I mean, they can, but Secret are still strong enough to fight back. Here's a hook, so we got another free, oh, never mind, not a free kill.
Max gonna save Insania,
Charging
and now
up the
they're
boom.
trying to turn all their sights onto this reactive armor
so much
beast
damage.
with the hypothermia as well. FBZ will go boom boom on his teammate.
Block
Gets
grenade.
the Timber Chain away. Crystallis coming in, he just spawned, gets the BKB off along with the Iron Storm as Nisha, his Aegis is consumed thanks to the burst
You're on top
damage of
of
the
Mickey.
Timbersaw.
The grab
And
ally.
Mickey inside the Tombstone now. Grab Ally does it again. Will they have enough damage to actually get the kill? Mickey will finally go down, but it's going to cost Crystallis his life again.
Puppy gets cookied on.
Yeah, they don't want to touch Puppy.
Yeah, he's good.
Too
Oh,
much.
FGZ boom again.
Yeah,
Second
boom, boom
round.
time. Can he get another Timber Chain in?
No.
Oh.
Insania. Oh, yeah! But the arrow
Buyback.
coming in to hold him in place. Buyback now from the Undying. They're going to have all the control in the world to kill the Boom Boom Man. And Puppy able to TP out safely.
Oh, shit.
Mal,
Run, bro,
getting
run.
chased. That's a very scary sight indeed. Gleipnir
Good
into
shackle.
the shackle. And Armel, unless he gets arrowed here from a long distance,
Unless it's
We'll be
some
fine.
curving heat-seeking arrow, he should be all right.
that's a Boom Boom arrow.
Yeah. Zai taking the little dragon, but let's be real. We all just saw what Timbersaw can do, right? I'm sure
Yes.
if you're Secret, you now feel like you can fight them. Because when FBZ goes in and presses E, he could, I don't know, they could blindfold him and he would still stay alive.
That's true.
So you go fight together. And I think Secret is still very strong. I don't know if there's a timing that they're playing for that I don't truly understand, but I think maybe they're slightly underestimating their power level.
What items does Crystallis need to be a little bit more effective? Right now he has BKB, Yasha, Falcon Blade. This
I
is
think he's
not
very
great for him.
effective. I think he's very effective right now. This
He
is like
will have Manta soon.
yeah, but mid-game Razor is very big. As here we see them do not too much to FBZ. They did get him very low, but he gets a chain back in and boom, take him out of the game. As Crystallis just does what Razors love to do: stick on top of whoever you suck. Does die, but worth. Hashtag worth right there.
That's right.
Oh, here comes the boom, baby.
Look at the range on this.
That's honestly pretty good. It's like a black hole radius, maybe a bit more. Golden radius.
What do you think about Blink Dagger on Timber? Is that
Very
ever a
good.
thing?
A Blink Dagger, very good.
Especially with the Ags?
I mean, especially, yeah. And when we also think about the fact that all he has to do is go in, as this
yeah, they do have
nullifier is big,
nullifier.
right? So the whatever 4 stats you have, and most importantly, you just instantly break the boom. You still keep all the stats. So it still has great usage in this game. But nullifier against the Wind Ranger as well, like
Okay,
Armel
here-
has to be careful.
Here's a question.
Here's a question.
If you break, like you get Silver Edge as the Timbersaw, let's say you have 0 stacks of reactive armor, then you hit E after being broken. Do you gain those stacks?
I think you should. Because it's not about whether the spell is
Right,
like...
that's a weird one though. Crystallis, they
Getting
force out his
blocked. He's
BKB.
blocked.
He's absolutely stuck here.
Zai,
And forced the
God.
TP out. That's pretty big and Secret. I don't know if they can defend this now.
That's some StarCraft micro right there. Probably unintentional, but still very
The
sick.
Dragoons.
Dire's top tower
What
is
a
under
beast.
attack.
As okay, Secret look like they still feel like, okay, we're strong enough. Sure, we use BKB, but you use the shapeshift.
Under attack.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this game lasting 40 more minutes and Puppy slapping them.
Yeah, those tier 5 items, not too far off, guys.
Yeah. I mean, Puppy always has sexy looking inventories. He's got the Holy Locket, he's got the drums to drum it up. Pretty sure he plays guitar or drums in real life. Either way, has the Dragon Lance as well. Gonna go into the Pike later. Well, Secret, you know, still doing fine.
It's only a
Dire's
4K
bottom
lead
tower
for
is
Liquid.
under attack.
Definitely not running away with it this time. Either way, Secret putting up a better fight than game 1. That was not remotely
Not good.
close.
Yes, you can say it.
Just terrible. Mickey will be going for the Lothars.
Or
Yeah,
Shadow
Silver
Blade.
Edge.
Wow, it's been how
Shadow
many
Blade.
years and I still don't remember.
Oh! Not even close, actually.
Nice dodge.
Nice force staff. As now we have a second pike coming out on Team Liquid. So nullifiers would also be great later for Secret. Like a lot of the time, the longer the game goes, the enemy team will itemize to make your win condition harder and harder. So eventually when they have all these save items, force staff, glimmers, whatever, you may have to think about a nullifier to help you get this first initial kill in the fight. But Liquid, they want to go smoke up. Second row is just getting closer to respawning, so getting themselves into the right area.
Well, they scan out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Secret have good vision, but their strongest hero is not even close.
Roche is 120 away as well. Yeah, Puppey's going to get caught out, completely surrounded now, arrowed and brought down easily. There is no Roche, though, as the bottom push is continuing with the Black Dragon. So Zai just continuing to have presence all across the map.
Zai's micro going ham, getting some farm bottom.
This is the carrier. StarCraft reference, of course.
I didn't play that game, so
you mentioned StarCraft.
Yeah, but
don't know
doesn't
any
mean
of the
I played
units.
it. I can talk about Counter-Strike. I don't really play that game.
AK-47 right there.
Yes, thank you, Shannon.
All right, and what the question is, what's the op in this scenario?
In this game, it's Arrow.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Doesn't one-shot, though.
It might, if they're low.
That is technically true.
Anyway, second Roche coming up. Okay, if Secret won, I mean, it's all about basically how they use FPZ. So by the time that Roshan does respawn, FPZ has travels, right? Because he's the one that has to defend, but then also be in the fight early on. So I do like the fact that he does have boots of travel. It's kind of his job to answer the push. But the thing is, he has to find a very nice balance. Maybe Puppey can find a creep that he can then travel on in the team fight.
They also have the Zai shard, so the Wolf will be spawning and was in the bottom lane this time, so
the Wolf
will be there all the time.
FPZ, he's got it covered. Man knows his job. He's pinging the wave. He's like, I'm going to kill this wave and then TP to you guys. Don't worry.
Roche is up now.
Another Wolf.
Same lane. It's still random, right? 1 out of 3?
It's random. It's random.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine every like 25 seconds, you like, would you like your Wolf to spawn top, mid, or bottom?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Of course you wouldn't.
Extra control, you know? Just pick the same lane.
Oh, look at Jimbo go to work here. He's going to push it in.
All right, a Roshoff is coming, but...
Oh, it's going to go to Radiant.
TP's back, yeah.
Oh, Puppey's TPing.
20 seconds.
Oh, they're TPing right
Puppey
here.
TP's right into the midst of Liquid, and the TPs are coming very slowly.
FPZ from
There's
behind,
the BKB from Chrysalis along with the Eye of the Storm, and a nice shackle onto the Snapfire. Nisha still in the cover of the night, though, from the Moonlight Shadow. Insania taking a ton of damage. The Mortimer Skits is coming out, but not doing too much. They are canceled eventually. Insania next to a bunch of trees. Not the greatest place to be against the Timber Saws. The Boom Boom goes off, hitting absolutely nothing. Multi-shot coming out, but they get Chrysalis. A nice block here onto 3 heroes. Is there any follow-up?
Oh, Roche!
Chalkum doing it quite a bit. Roshan trying to help out as much as they can. Armel nullified inside of this cogs of his teammate. Looks like he will eventually drop to the deck. And Nisha trying to finish off things, but he's going to die first. It's a 3 for 2 right now. It's a beautiful Timber Chain from FBZ. Zai attempting to run away, but remember, he doesn't have boots at 30 minutes in the game. Triple kill for FBZ. And despite Chrysalis dying pretty much right off the bat, Secret ended on top of this fight.
They used so much on Chrysalis. I'm pretty sure they were all like hitting him for like 8 seconds plus snap ult. And then FBZ just comes in from the back, presses boom, gets tanky, and he dealt 7,500 damage. He also gained 5k XP, not too shabby. Level 22, and I like that he's going for the Shivas next, like just giving yourself more vision, the slow to stick onto targets, lower attack speed for the Drow as well. Like sure here, you kill Chrysalis, my bro. I mean, honestly, when you keep first twing Razor, he's not the main carry of this game. Like FBZ, if he gets a free fight like this,
that's true.
We're good to go.
Yeah, if you're going to first 2 your carry, it likely will not have the greatest lane.
Yeah, at least don't expect him to carry you. Yeah. Not every time, at least.
I mean, he did play off lane. I mean, we can call him the off laner this game.
He is the off laner.
FBZ was the safe laner, so...
Okay, so Roche is still up, right? Of course, they were not able to kill him during all this downtime because no carry is actually available to hit it. Oh, yeah.
Is it actually not worth to get boots on Lycan?
I don't think you need it, no. It's one of the few heroes where you actually can skip it.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the last time I've seen Boots on Liking. It's just to rely on purely your ult to get around.
Maybe
it's
if you're
hilarious to watch, especially when you're trying to run away after your ult's run out. You're pathetic.
I mean, you just hope during your ult that you're winning
It's
the
like
fight.
500 gold. Like, is it really that big of a deal?
Yes.
Apparently. Into the pit.
Ooh, here comes Johnny, though. He scouts it out.
FBZ quickly destroys the wolf as Roshan's still looking around.
Where's he going? Relax, bro.
Just aggroed a bit, you know, no big deal.
Oh, we're smoking around. Or
Very close game.
So Liquid they have a good ward.
Only one buyback here on Puppey.
On the Lotus pool here already, and they're baiting with Jimbo.
Power shot will, and the
that's a good
rocket
rocket.
flare, very nice, but Yamich can't find the angle. They're gonna get the Gleipnir onto Zai. You can see boom boom time is coming. Beautiful hook shot coming out, but they end up going into the path of zero resistance as the boom boom goes out, doing a good amount of damage to Mickey. They get the 2 kills, and that's all they really need to get Roche. That could have been so much worse for Liquid.
I mean, these outer like rings of the map are pretty annoying to play into, like this scouting, right? From some random power shot, there's a rocket flare. Sure, Liquid have wolves to scout too, but there's a gem on, I think, Armel or someone on Secret at least to also always offset that.
Jeez, look at these wolves, man.
And they're going to town. I like that Crystallis is coming here early. Your other allies can take Roach. Maybe you don't even want the Aegis. Yeah, you don't, so just let them do that.
Oh, yeah.
Fix the lanes.
FBZ with Cheese now. We'll see if he passes it off to Crystallis, because I don't even know if he's going to get low enough to need to use Cheese at any
actually,
point.
I think you should give it to Crystallis, because you're already not dying. Now, you can like create 3 heroes that can't really die. Great
Look at this hook shot. They did mostly get out, but
the jetpack into the hook shot.
Oh, I didn't see he had jetpack. That is nice.
As, you know, they all force over barely and Cookie out, so Liquid did a very good job disengaging there for sure.
Yeah.
Could have looked more ugly with a good Yules as well onto FBZ.
Yep, Zai.
Yeah, I mean, they just got him first.
Yeah.
They don't really have the best front line. I mean, it's probably on Insania perhaps to kind of gank that, you know, kind of hold that position or try to get the save onto Zai, but if they're initiating on your Lycan, it's not a good turnaround hero. So you prefer if he can play a little more in the back. Smick is still very strong, but not very much able to get the hits off.
FBZ focusing now on the tier 2. They're going to go for the Tormentor.
Little friends, it's coming. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Oh, yeah. Turn those wolves against Dire. This is a lot of creeps, though.
That's true. You could take both wolves at the same time.
And then he spawns 2 new ones, and then you little friends them on the line.
That's right. Oh, that's a very big Gleipnir. Boom Boom is up, but
Boom Boom is gone.
Dispelled instantly.
Whoa, whoa.
FBZ. The Clockwork is going to die pretty much right off the bat, which means Secret might want to just receive. Marcus is doing a decent amount, and Puppey is going to be collateral down overall, and now the chase is on. Can Liquid find any of these core heroes?
The wolf is coming.
Crystallis looks to be fine. Armel, though, Gleipnir forcing out the BKB. He's taking a ton of damage with that nullifier. That is the Aegis. It's going to be a buyback now. It's going to turn into a good old-fashioned team fight. And Armel, he actually might want to just back away as FBZ going very deep. Boom Boom is there, but nullifier again, and he instantly dies. Despite having the big reactive armor stacks, Crystallis TPing out.
He dies as well.
Oh my good, did the BKB run out just in time for the Gleipnir? That is very bad for Secret.
I think the BKB like ended towards the end of the Gleipnir, so he still got stunned by it. Uh-oh. Secret with a huge mistake, definitely going too deep, and it's kind of continuing to fight as well. I think you just try to cut your losses, try to get out, but damn. Liquid, just fight back quick. Damage is going a little.
They would have been better off just fighting, even despite the Clockwork dying right away, just grouping up.
He couldn't even get the cheese off.
That's true.
Just gets clapped down. They thought it could turn it with the cheese.
Oh.
There it is.
So close. All right, and now we're on the other side as Liquid are knocking at the front door. Tombstone is placed.
I mean, they push fast. Quora's Drought, double buyback.
Yep, hookshot is in, but not going to find anybody initially. Zai getting
good
force
force.
trap, and look at this little shredder completely destroying Yamich. No buyback for him. Double buyback coming out from 2 cores of Secret, but they're not going to find anything really.
Ooh,
that's a big, big turn of events, and now Liquid with a 10K lead.
That's a clean disengage from Liquid. They were very much ready for these buybacks. We just back off with the cookie, 4 stance. Nisha turns around real quick with the little shredder, gets himself a freebie, and continues to just back off.
Can we check on the Glacier status, please? On the old Drow Ranger. Yep, still not there. Okay.
Nope.
Just checking. You know, no big deal.
Blitz gonna have
Their
to do some
Tormentor
talking.
was killed. Focus fire. Set up by the Gleipnir. Shackle onto the creep as well. Actually, a really nice setup as Zai completely controlled and brought down. 70 seconds with no buyback as well, but will Liquid be able to get anything out of this? Double damage on Mickey, but Armel.
Oh, the damage.
God. That damage is pretty absurd.
So a DD Drow Ranger, that's...
FBZ forcing them out.
That ain't no joke, as the DD is now over. I mean, Secret also had a lot of unspent gold earlier when they did go for that high ground push. Like 2k on your Timber, I think 2.5k on Razor, 3k on Wind Ranger. I mean, of course they had to use it on their buybacks now, but that move hurt them quite a bit. 9k gold lead now for Liquid. It looks like the map will stall a little bit until Zai is back alive. 2.1k gold, Jesus.
Yeah.
Costly.
Indeed, they add up for sure. Lincoln's almost online for Armel's Wind Ranger. And yeah, Mickey is looking very strong, despite not going Glacier.
True.
Will be.
Imagine if he had it though.
Yeah, imagine.
He has a Spell Prism.
There's no counter to that other than putting your creeps up there, you know, getting jetpacked,
Blinking on top of it.
Yeah, blink. Yeah, quite a few ways. Wind run up there as well.
Maybe the jetpack, it should like burn it.
Yeah,
it should melt the Glacier.
Oh, melt the Glacier.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the other way around. It should freeze the jetpack.
Nah, that would be lame. As Drow Ranger with a Spell Prism. I like it because I think all you need to do as Drow is like keep your positioning, have lower cooldown on your spells that allow you to stay in a good position, get more multi-shots off and so on. It's not really about the damage. The damage comes from you hitting and being in a good position, so you don't need to like, you know, get a new trident that helps you do that. Just lower cooldowns, good to go. Like that choice from Mickey.
And now we're smoke. Secret.
Invisibility.
Need to find something here. They've been losing momentum in the last couple fights. Roche, 2 minutes away from knowing when that will actually spawn. As Chrysalis, his smoke is popped. Puppy gets vision. Gleipnir.
There's an Aeon Disc.
Yep, Aeon Disc does
a good
proc.
one.
That'll save his life.
They have a good ward here on Secret, but Liquid are looks like they want to go around, or maybe they don't even want to have anything to do with it, and they just push mid or bottom. Because look, you don't have to run into the enemy when you can just force them back aggressively. I like this move from Liquid.
Radiant's
That's true.
middle tower
You have
is
these
under
wolves ready to do your bidding. That's a tier 2 tower.
attack. Tower has fallen.
I mean, they could move into, like, do they want to hit mid, hit bottom, chill? What's the deal? FBZ TPing.
Keep in mind, we haven't even talked about the power spikes of Snapfire inherently as a core, but the 20 talent we've already seen go to work with that little shredder, and the 25 is when this hero becomes absolutely redonkulous.
I actually feel like he's already ridiculous. He says drums, AC.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's not redonkulous.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
That's
Sorry,
25.
I didn't hear you changing the two words there. Redonkulous. Is that like Gaben shellacking level, top hat level?
Yeah, no, nothing is that level. I mean, you're talking about an animal versus Gaben, for God's sake.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, everyone.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Shut up, continue.
Hopefully Gaben's not watching. Probably on his yacht, playing the beta of Neon Prime. The smoke from Secret. Oh, hook shot, not quite in range. Zai's gonna pop his. Oh, this nice shackled with a focus fire. To follow, Mickey doing quite a bit of damage. Force Step's gonna save Zai. He will live. That's actually a big Gale Force as Mickey trying to get the other side. Boom, boom, hitting 3 heroes. And Liquid able to disengage, it looks like, as Yamich somehow survives the onslaught of Nisha's little shredder. Gleipnir on the 2. Arrows not gonna connect. Nisha. Just a casual Mortimer's as FBZ going in really deep, popping the Eon Disc again onto Boxy. But the damage onto the Timber is way too much. Not even the Boom Boom can save you this time.
Nice
Puppy's next on the list, so 2 dead without buyback.
Oh, nice travels.
Liquid, very back and forth fight, but they get the better of Secret.
I mean, if they just get to kite a bit and hit, this damage that's coming out from both Nisha and Mickey is starting to be absurd. And Nisha's not even 25 yet. Like, he's not hit his final form just yet, where FBZ is like, yeah, you know, I can go in there, low HP, but break, silence, and look at his damage. They just kill him within like 3 seconds. Just way too much. Minus armor from the Howl. There's an aggressive AC on Zai as well. And the Cookie. Pew.
And
Oh, back in the game, we killed Armel.
They killed Armel. Oh, that's game.
That could do it.
That's actually just game. That is a terrible way to lose the game, but maybe they would have lost it anyway. Now the tier 4s are melting. Mickey doing a lot of damage despite not having the Glacier, which, as a result, we'll never actually remember this victory because he didn't go Glacier. But Liquid end up taking game 2, and I mean, Secret looked a lot better. Just a couple of mistakes here and there really cost them.
I mean, Liquid looked very good in these 2 games. I still think that Secret were maybe stronger than they actually felt. Like, FBZ had such a great game on his Timber. He's very tanky, he can maybe go in, but they're going to definitely look at these games because these wins/losses for these 2 teams are very important. I think Secret are now at 5 and 7. I think their upcoming game tomorrow, they're going to have to be in better shape for that one.
Yep, agreed. Nisha ends the game 11-2 and 11. And I don't know, the FBZ Timbersaw, it felt really good, really strong, but just didn't work out. Actually looking at the end game screen, Yamich deleted all his items.
That happens.
As when you lose the game, that doesn't, typically it's the winner that does that. Hopefully that's not any storyline.
Nah, all good. Maybe just some habit, but I think this mid Snapfire is definitely a hero that, I mean, I'm pretty sure people are already looking at it, but it just seems so solid. It doesn't have too many bad matchups. It's really annoying for some of these snowbally heroes like some Razors, Monkey Kings to play into early on. It helps you with the map, and yeah, just these auras. Just Liquid's playing very damn well.
Yeah, and with that, it ends up being a 2-0 victory for Liquid. Interview is here.
Thank you very much. I'm standing by with Insania of Team Liquid. Congratulations on the 2-0 victory. Congratulations on 2 2-0 victories. Today has been a real turnaround for you, and I have to imagine that something must have happened over these past few days that maybe was a wake-up call for you guys?
I think yesterday was the biggest thing. We had a pretty decent team talk after our 1 and 3 day. I think we were all feeling pretty down bad. So yeah, we decided, you know what, we can still turn this around and put in a lot of effort into our games and really try to figure our stuff out and make sure that we're all very happy with things. We sat down, decided to do some lane practice, try to get our lanes in order. So a lot of effort has been put in, and it's nice to see, it working out.
زي ما شفنا أعزائنا المشاهدين إنسانية معنا من فريق ليكويد بعد ما قدروا اليوم يفوزون جيمين كلها راحت 2-0 لصالحهم. وكانت الفكرة إنه السؤال بالتركيز عليه كيف قدرتوا إنكم تقلبون النتيجة لصالحكم، لأن زي ما احنا عارفين أول الأيام ما كانت مصالح تيم ليكويد، لكن الآن قاعدين نشوفهم يصعدون إلى قمة المجموعات بشكل جدا رهيب. فكان الجواب بكل اختصار إنه بعد أمس عرفنا انه عندنا اخطاء كثيره، قلنا لازم نراجعها، فجلسنا مع بعض، كل واحد ركز على اللين حقه، كل واحد ركز على ايش ممكن انه يسوي في الجيم، نصلح اخطاء حقاتنا، وحطينا جهد جدا كبير عشان نقدر ان نسوي اللي سويناه اليوم.
So then outside of team talks, how do you personally stop yourself from spiraling? Because I was speaking to some of your staff and one of them was like, oh yeah, Aiden thought we were already fighting for elimination just to stay in the tournament. We weren't 5 and 5, we were 2 and 8 or something like that. So how do you keep your mentality and check that it's not all losses, things are not that chaotic?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really check the actual score, so I don't really know. All I know is how it feels, but usually the more we lose, the more I want to win. And to be honest, playing on stage is magical. I think we've gotten to the point now in our careers where it's the thing we look forward to the most. And I think this series, had it been in the hotel room, maybe it would have looked a bit different. So being on a stage in front of a crowd is always a nice buff to our team.
سألنا اللاعب السؤال الثاني أيضا في المقابلة، كنا نتكلم على أنه صحيح أنكم أنتم خسرتوا المباريات هذه، لكن نفس الوقت احنا كنا نشوف دائما من الأناليستس يتكلم على نقطة أنه اللاعب نفسه ممكن يصير عنده زي ما تقول توتر شوي، والشيء هذا يمنعه أنه يقدر يؤدي الأداء اللي احنا متوقعينه منه. فكيف تقدر أنك توقف نفسك من أنك تشعر بالشعور هذا؟ يقول صراحة أنا ما كنت أقدر أو ما كنت أشوف السكور أصلا حق نتائج المباريات، كنت فقط أركز على شيء واحد، أنه شعوري أنا بعد ما أخسر أو أفوز. كل ما خسرت أكثر كل ما حبيت اني افوز اكثر، وخصوصا إذا لعبت في المسرح اصلا احساس المسرح والجمهور والاضواء وكل شيء قاعد يصير فيه يعطيك بف جدا رهيب يخليك تقدر تأدي افضل.
So then while we have you here on the main stage, if we make our way to playoffs, what team would you like to face off? And it can't be Gaiman. You can't choose Gaiman because I obviously know it's going to be Gaiman. So who's your lower bracket final then?
What's the point of asking this question if I can't answer with a team that I want?
Because everyone knows it's going to be Gaiman.
Okay.
There's no other team that you guys have rivalries with? There's no other team that you're like, oh, these guys give us a challenge, these guys put us to the limit? Is it really just gaming? Because yes, that's what the DPC would imply, but other than that.
Honestly, Tsunami, like all the matches indicate that the main rivalry is Team Liquid and TG. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, gaming gladiators. You know, we've been trying to beat them all year long. I don't know what you want from me.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
زي ما شفنا المشاهدين نعرف احنا الهيستوري ما بين جيمنج جلاديترز وتيم ليكويد اكثر شيء احنا نشوفه في كل الميادر في انحاء العالم انه دائما تيم ليكويد يخسرون في الفاينل دائما يكونون المركز الثاني وجي جي هم يكونون المركز الاول فتوقع ان الاجابه حقته من ناحيه الرايفري مين تبغون تنافسون اكيد انها بتكون جي جي وهذا فعلا اللي احنا شاهدنا منه.
Congratulations on a great day today and good luck against Talon on this stage tomorrow.
Thank you. شكرا.
يعطيكم العافيه اعزائنا المشاهدين، جاء الوقت ان نروح فيه لاستوديو التحليل نتكلم ايش صار في نهايه اليوم الثالث من الجروب ستيج. زي ما احنا عارفين خلاص بكره اخر فرصه ونعرف مين اللي بيتاهل للبلاي اوفز، يكون الشيء اللي بيصير جدا عظيم.
That'll be it from us. We're wrapping it up here. We'll send it back to the studio as we close out the day.
Thank you very much, Tsunami, Fancy, and Insania. Indeed, we are wrapping up the day with a 2-0 victory for Team Liquid. In the TI lower bracket finals, it was Team Secret that advanced, but here, Team Liquid get themselves a run back. Nisha finding himself yet again, BSJ, on the winning team in this environment.
Yeah, I love to see Nisha looking like this. I think Snapfire really is the perfect hero for him in the sense that it's a lane dominator and it has a bunch of different item builds that it can go for, and then eventually it just carries the ever-living shit out of the game, because that's what this hero has always lacked. And suddenly being a universal hero, we're just going down the list, you know, nerf the next right-clicking universal hero, Snap's definitely next in line.
Yep, she should definitely be experiencing a couple of nerfs. One of the positives, though, Lacoste, is that the game 2 draw from Secret, much more positive, made the game much more competitive. And outside of a couple of decisions, honestly, we could have been staring down a Team Secret victory here.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the way they set up the lanes, putting Crystallis and Yamich in the off lane, threatening a couple of kills in the lane against this Undying, trading in terms of kills, and also allowing FBZ to stay on top of the network for a very long time, not allowing Zai to get the most out of his lane. Still, it's Zai, so you know that the guy's gonna recover no matter what. He's really familiar with playing with the own godlike reverse one, but overall, like, I feel it's the same thing with Secret. Like, you see them have a good laning stage, they do really well, and in some of these like mid-game fights, they tend to crumble.
What do you think it is, Afia, that actually, why does that keep happening so reliably? That's Team Secret under those conditions, when the pressure is on, they find themselves struggling so much with the decision-making.
Well, probably because they've changed their roster so much, right? Because when you're always playing with a new roster, you haven't like hashed out all the problems with the team. So like they have like their really moments of brilliance, but then after that, they just be like, oh, that was a bit of a rookie mistake, right? Where they just overextend a little bit. And these are things that get hashed out quite easily through experience. But this is a team that changes the roster very frequently. So that's a lot of where their inconsistency comes from.
Not the most consistent team in the world, unfortunately, for Team Secret, but Team Liquid have demonstrated over the course of 2023 that consistency, especially winding up in the grand finals, is kind of what they do at this point. To sort of show you a demonstration of how that keeps happening, we have our STC play ready for you, so you can witness some of the brilliance that we come to expect from Team Liquid at this point. And Fia, you were mentioning how hard it's going to be for Boxy to land these arrows.
Yep.
Who needs setup, man?
I mean, that's what I said. Like, if the way they're going to hit these arrows is just by freestyling them, and that's exactly what they did there.
Yep, it made it look so easy throughout the course of this game. I mean, BSJ didn't even require the zombies, didn't need any frost arrows to help set him up. And not only did they get that kill, but look at this, Lycan Wolves getting that additional vision, finding that information, and now suddenly it's not just one massive kill, it leads into two, and the game state becomes much more difficult for Team Secret.
I have to believe that this is attributed to the fact that you can click hero portraits when they're off map and see what their inventory is, because in this case, I don't think you would have had time to check Wind Ranger if she had a TP or not. But now if you click her, you see no TP, and they're like, she has to be up here somewhere, and they managed to scout her out with the wolves. I mean, it's just really cool to see. Like in the past, we kind of had to gamble and make them prove to you that they had a TP, but now you can be much more confident, and they found her.
Yep, they did indeed find her, and Lacoste, one of the reasons why they were able to do that. So many of the teams that we've seen succeed so far in the Riyadh Masters have always had at least one hero on the team that can give you some vision all throughout the map, and Lycan, definitely one of the best heroes to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the reasons why Secret was losing some of these fights is they did not have, like, you'll see Windranger focus firing Snapfire, and there's no vision, there's no sentry, and then later on, a couple of fights after, they bought a gem for him so he can actually lock onto a target and kill it. Like we even saw in our previous series how good Glimmer Caves are, like multiple Glimmer Caves when Terrorblade was trying to man up 1 versus 5, didn't work out, so vision game always gonna be good. I mean, one of the reasons why we also see some of these zoo heroes still being relatively popular, the auras have been nerfed, but vision in Dota always gonna be a superior thing to think about.
This is why you need support to provision you with some vision in your games and ensure that you get the victory that you require. Of course, in this game, because Team Liquid were able to get the 2-0 sweep, we need to nominate an MVP from them, and the Kadir MVP is none other than Nisha. What a god, what a boss, playing the Snapfire to absolute perfection. After this fear, a play like this, when Armel misses that fissure, Nisha gets the solo kill. That's when, if you're a Liquid fan, you start smiling, you know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, there's 4 bounty runes in this in game number 1. Game number 2, he didn't slow down as well. Of course, he didn't have as an explosive a game, but he got exactly where he needed to be in both these games, having, like, I think a ban-worthy performance. I don't think you can give Liquid this first pick Snapfire anymore. The Secret tried everything they could to try and deal with it 2 games in a row. He went out of control 2 games in a row. At that point, it's going to be very scary having that additional hero under Liquid's belt here that they can play.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair to me, BSJ. Not only does it have so much physical magic damage, early on in the game, but man, late game Snapfire, once you hit that 25, my god, dude.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. One of the most powerful things about Snap traditionally has been, you saw that kill on FBZ bottom, and when he was level 7, free farming in the game, Snapfire is able to TP, one of the few heroes in the game that actually allows you to chunk through all of that reactive armor and HP. And now, with the Helm of the Overlord aura, you suddenly have this high base damage, you're a right clicker, you also benefit from the agility aura from Drow like you didn't used to, so it just all adds up in the end.
We also don't see too much of Boots of Travel being built from the mid lane. Snapfire is that hero that utilizes it, and we've seen in both of these games TPing the like at Wolves or Birds from Visage and then trying to set things up. Like you go in, Road of Athos, Cookie, just a perfect hero, I would say right now. Not the most balanced one, but very fun to play and very fun to watch being played.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a good reason why she's one of the most contested heroes in the entirety of the Riyadh Masters. And unlike a lot of other heroes that are highly contested here, her win rate is also pretty high up there. So I think any team that's allowed to play Snapfire should never really happen. If you let a Snapfire through, you better have an incredible plan prepared to deal with this hero. Of course, given that we did see Snapfire twice in this game, we also have another example of how good this hero can be with our KFC Colonel's Choice play of the day. So let's walk through it. Let's see exactly what happened here. And in this particular situation, look where the Snapfire is, right? For me, here it's like, okay, Secret about to make a young comeback. Fear about to maybe find a decent play for themselves. They're looking like they're about to set things up. Okay, you find an early kill on this Visage. You're like, maybe we can do this. No, you can't. No, you can't. Snapfire does too much damage.
No, he definitely does, and this is the biggest reason why this hero is so powerful. In the early game, this hero has like the highest nukes of any hero with 3 nukes within your Q, your W, and your ultimate. And then let's just go to the late game. If you go ahead and fast forward there, you're automatically one of the better carries in the game. This hero does not have a weak point in the game, and you can see Nisha utilizing all his spells in that team fight to maximum effectiveness.
Yep, that was a fight that obviously decided game number 1 and ensured that Team Secret didn't have a hope of coming back. They looked at their lineup, they're like, yeah, we can't really battle back up against a hero like the Snapfire. Unfortunately, one thing that we also did not see from the side of Team Secret is them being able to keep one another alive. Despite them having some decent heals, you know, Puppy was playing the Enchantress game 2. They were trying to get as many 4-stars in the game as possible. Ultimately, the execution just wasn't there for them. Lacoste, I want to see them go back and grind out some pubs, maybe get into the lobbies and click some more buttons, man, because
yeah, I don't know if they're going to be grinding pubs right now, but it's going to be, you know, a bunch of talking, a lot of scrims, a lot of draft practicing as well, because something that Insania talked about in an interview is lanes. We talked about how Team Secret has really strong laning stage overall, and they said we needed to practice the lanes, and it really shows.
practice makes perfect, of course, in the landscape of Dota 2. And one of the things that you want to be practicing as a hero, and especially as a support, is keeping your core heroes alive. And one of the best examples we have of this from this day of Dota will be our El Habib save of the day. Let's take a look. BSJ, walk me through it. How is this the best play of the day to keep a hero alive under difficult conditions?
Well, this is game one of Team TSM versus Aster, and it's in a situation where you're like, this little druid, he's definitely going to die. But with all the backup that he's got, especially coming out from a core, the Terrorblade with the Axe, fearing everybody away, TSM did not look good coming into this series, but suddenly this game, even though they didn't end up taking it, showed some signs of life, and then they finally brought it all together in game two. So this was them showcasing like what exactly they can do in the mid to late game and actually giving these teams a run for their money.
When it comes to execution, this is the kind of plays that gave TSM the confidence necessary to come back in game two. And that comeback is also very important because without it, they would almost be guaranteed to be relegated from the Group B, excuse me, here at the Riyadh Masters. Because they were able to get that victory and because they were able to eke out another victory thereafter, they still remain in contention, not just to stay in Riyadh Masters, but maybe, you know, have some other teams eliminated before them and continue into the playoff bracket, which is going to be very, very important. Of course, before we get into the main meat and potatoes of what the playoffs is going to look like, we still need to find out what else happened here at the end of the evening of the Riyadh Masters. And to do so, we have our man on the ground, Jenkins, to talk us through it.